wheelchair. Unless you're in a wheelchair. William, where are you? Don't you dare say that word. William, it's a brand new season. We're just starting off. Don't start up.
He does not want me to use the word.
Don't say it.
Prepare.
Unless you're in a wheelchair. You want to sing that with me?
Pardon me?
Sing that with me.
What?
Unless you're in a wheelchair.
Something in a wheelchair.
Unless you're in a wheelchair. You haven't been listening to the podcast.
Unless you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, go to Bayonne and go shopping at the pharmacy. And
you can't go shopping in Bayonne.
Unless you're in a wheelchair.
If you're in a wheelchair, you can't get in.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's part of the song. So
they don't have a ramp.
No, you go to the Chinese food place and throw up, but you can't. Because you're in a wheelchair. You can't do nothing in Bayonne. You can't even go to the public library in Jersey City. You know that?
I heard that.
You can't even read a book. If you're in a wheelchair. Just look across the street here.
Wait.
This is your state capital, in Trenton. You can't even get in a wheelchair in any of these businesses. It's pathetic. Horrible. Can I have a light for my bong, please? We're allowed to smoke cannabis out here. I'm smoking my bong. Can I have a lighter? Thank you.
The sanctuary.
This is officially a sanctuary. It's been 100 days. It's a sanctuary for adult use cannabis here at the Capitol. Here we go. First bong hit of the season. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Lemon G. Lemon G. Hey, Dustin. Smoke him if you got him. Eric's here. Come on, bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. There we go.
I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're all been down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown and you fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm a mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty. Let's roll! I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly dis, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you are, roll with. Who you are, roll with.
Come on. We're going to get a commercial. I know it. It's going to happen. Sorry.
You want a commercial?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Please donate to CMMMJ. 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Sativa Cross, the ignorance excuse.
What?
Pop-up podcast.
What?
The pop-up podcast.
Pop podcast.
That's it right here. The pop-up podcast.
This is an unadvertised podcast.
At Trenton
Nobody knew. We did 100 over 3 years. Just showed up.
Just showed up and started smoking legally. Jim got to tell us something real quick.
Yeah, what happened, Jim? Hold on. What happened, Jim? Somebody dry snitched on us?
Yes.
Somebody snitched on us for smoking weed?
I'm looking for Leo because he was the one who witnessed, but it was casual.
Who said we were smoking weed, man? Come on.
Follow
We're allowed
them.
to
The
smoke
other
weed.
protesters.
Get out of here.
Yeah, okay.
The other
not
protesters
weed
snitched
anymore,
on the
dude. You're not-
protesters. PSE and G.
Hey,
Forget them.
Hey,
I don't even care what they're here
they
for.
snitched on us for
Little
smoking
snitch
weed.
rats.
And we're
Okay,
patient.
okay.
Snitches.
Come on, man.
Yo,
Snitches.
Little snitch rats.
bad entry.
Okay, we went to. All right, we take that back. Never mind.
I want
We
to
take that
start all
back.
over. First of all,
We like PSE&G.
when you're right,
No, we don't.
when you're right, you don't have to be angry. Angry potheads are a bad look, dude.
Oh, we're not angry.
This is true.
We're right. No, it is true, and we're right, so we don't have to be like that.
I'm gonna light up again.
Because
Just for that, I'm
this-
gonna medicate again.
My bomb.
that's
My
that's
bomb.
the image of
And
you.
then keep
That's
doing
society.
that until you smile when you say it.
Smile when you yell.
Right, right.
Oh, what do you? Oh, yeah, you need a lighter? All right, this is the part of the show, boys and girls. If you got them, smoke them. Hit the bong. Eat that edible. Let's go.
Well, I don't have any.
Okay, Wayne.
I don't have any pain at the moment, and I'm a legal patient, so I feel like short with this little short microphone thing.
Sorry.
Sure.
I'm
You're a
going
big
hand.
man.
I'm
You're a
going
big man,
handheld.
Jim Miller.
Handheld.
CMMNJ.org. Jim Miller, we got him here live at the Pop-Up Podcast.
Pop up a podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast. 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 Love it. All right, another season, our 101st episode.
Well, it's not actually a season. We had 3 seasons every Thursday from the first Thursday in April through Thanksgiving for 3 years. But now, that was because of Governor Christie. We don't need to be here every week. There's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work. Most now know more about this than I do, the ones who are taking care of stuff. So we don't need to come in every week. But when we come in, we'll have something to say, and when something's going on.
I got some housekeeping to do. If you're sitting at the table, you can't talk off mic. That's all I'm saying. Please. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
no open drinks.
Point
no
taken.
open drinks. No
I know
open
they're
drinks on the
closed.
table.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I want no ground rules.
That's
I want
like
you to sit down, Leo, but
No swearing.
on mic. I want to hear what you have to say.
No swearing.
Oh, he's
do it.
getting a sandwich. Oh, okay, cool. I thought he was leaving. Cool.
Anyway,
He saw a sandwich.
Anyway, I was just
A stone guy saw a sandwich.
Okay. I just want to say something. I really, and it's probably better sooner rather than later. We don't really want to have that previous animosity every time an orange shirt goes by. If somebody wanted to rat us out for smoking legal medical marijuana,
I know what
and
you're
they
talking
had
about.
orange shirts on,
I
you know.
forgot.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we don't have to get angry at ignorance. Lefty doesn't. Ignorance is no excuse to her, and ignorance doesn't mean dumb. It just means you don't know what's going on. That's the definition. So if somebody's ignorant of this law, that's a genuine reaction.
You're on the air. You're off the air. You're on the air. You're off the air.
What was that?
I guess
good.
they didn't want to hear us. All right. We're not going to go through this every time. Hello, you're on the air.
Love is in the air.
You're on the air.
Hello?
You're on the air.
Hang up.
Dude,
Hang up.
sweet.
How much weed have you smoked,
Dude,
sir? Sir,
sweet.
put the bong down and talk to us.
Hello? There you go. See you later. Bye-bye. Oh, boy.
Crank caller. Duh. I'm live on the air. Duh. I'm
Hello?
stoned.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, McFly?
Hello? What the heck was that?
I don't
This is why
know,
we don't
bro.
take phone calls.
Yeah, it's not yet. It's too early, bro.
Jeez, really? We just started the show.
We
Give me
got
a
a
break.
lot to talk about, man.
Yeah, we do.
Governor Christie. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not
Christie,
the governor
Governor
no more.
Christie.
Oh,
The
man.
Governor Chris Christie era is over.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Hey, you got to
Praise
get up,
God.
walk back to your car, come over here, and start
Oh.
over. That was horrible.
No, this is a beautiful thing.
What do you
This is
got
what
there,
I'm
Wayne?
trying to tell people.
Oh, it is a beautiful thing.
Governor Chris Christie era is over. We have a new governor who actually cares about the Compassionate Use of Medical Marijuana Act.
All indications are that is true.
He's down with the marijuana.
Yeah, I'm like that. Remember, get down on your knees, pray we don't get fooled again. The WHO. It's sort of like I'm reluctant to give full trust to anybody, even him, right now. Although everything he's following through, just like you would hope, in a timely fashion. This man is not ready to wait.
He's already expanded the
Yes.
New Jersey medical marijuana program.
Yeah, well, he hit the head, the health. I mean, he gets credit for that, but that happened all except for the okay during the Christie administration. So when he had a new health department,
I don't know. Anxiety wasn't on there.
yes, the anxiety got approved by the advisory panel. Yes, it did.
Before his executive
Yeah,
order.
that was the advisory panel's job to do what they did, and then it was in the health department's.
How long has
lap.
it been legal since we knew
No,
about
it hasn't been legal. It was the situation was they get the experts together, an advisory panel. They come up with the recommendations, as you know, after a tedious process, and they make their recommendations to the Commissioner of Health. It's up to the Commissioner of Health then to say yes or no. So obviously the Commissioner was going to say yes for pretty much anybody other than Governor Christie's Commissioner. So that was already a done deal. The advisory panel's decision was in. So basically, the governor's person at the health department said yes, and he should get credit for that, though, because that person probably knew very well that Governor Murphy. This is, if they wanted to keep their job, they better start adding these conditions. So it's the pendulum has swung, and now it's not a fair fight for the opposition now because we own this home court advantage, man, and. I like everything. What do you think's the best thing he did, Wayne? The first thing caught your eye about him, Governor Murphy. I mean, was it for me? 60 days for the health department to tell me what's going on. I thought
First thing he did
he's the man.
was before he even ran. I mean, he
Yeah.
said he wanted legal.
He was smart enough.
Cannabis.
He was smart enough to know this
He
would
said
help.
he wanted to open up the New Jersey medical marijuana program. And this was all before he even became governor.
And I
So-
think that did not hurt his chances. Thing
I think it
is,
helped him.
I think he
it helped him a lot.
I think he probably didn't have to do it to win, which makes it all the sweeter, I think, for us because he did it anyway. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, well, if I don't do it, it's going to be so close. It wasn't going to be that. He did it anyway. He's setting it up, and I feel very secure in our advocacy now.
That's why I'm telling you.
It's moving.
Thank God Chris Christie era is over. It's a brand new day.
And it's the first podcast where, I don't know, it's easier to breathe or something. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, just like what happened to you with the state police officer. What do
Yeah.
you say? I mean,
Well,
was-
his indication was he barely had time to stop and
he
hear
didn't
it.
care.
Well, he knew who we are. He knew we're legal patients. He knows that we're away from the door.
Yeah, but still.
He sees
Under
nobody
the Chris
passing it
Christie
around.
era, it would have been different.
It was. You know
That's
that.
what
well,
I'm trying to tell you.
how
We got a new day
how
here,
many
Jim.
times
Celebrate.
how many times did I have to usher you and others across the street because
Exactly.
that was the rules? I mean, you got with the program. I'm not saying every week, but what you had to do is keep it behind my back.
What's up, brother?
Now you don't have
Good
to
to see
keep
you.
it behind my back.
Exactly.
This is
It's
fun.
a new era.
We're having a pop-up podcast.
I feel like I'm a Kennedy. Era. It's a new era. It's a new era.
Yeah, we are.
That's a up north language type of accent, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
Boston.
Boston.
Boston era.
Boston.
Era.
Let me ask
Buy
you
my
something.
car.
William Haney. When
I
was the
go
last?
buy my car.
When was the last time you were here, William? William.
He's high.
Oh, no.
He's high. Don't ask him. He's gone.
When was the last time you were here?
Oh my God. The last time I was at the podcast
Yeah?
was July 20th.
And
Wow, you remember the date?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
I'll never forget the date because I'm talking to Jim and having a stroke.
He had a stroke here, and then he didn't know it till he had an accident on the way home.
Having
The stroke had started. He was like,
and-
my
and
right
the-
arm, I can't feel it. No, you're lucky it's your right arm. He broke the left arm rule, too. Now I got to watch both my arms? Thanks, William. But
Ooh, excuse me. How you feeling?
well, it's getting better now. I mean, and
yeah, it was a real stroke.
with the with the cannabis consumption,
Oh.
it's been very helpful.
Here, can you punch my hand? Punch my hand while you're talking. No, the other arm. Show him the progress. Okay. See, he's getting there. He's getting there. You couldn't lift it before, correct?
Exactly.
Don't tell me. Speak.
Yes.
So you're using a little cannabis treatment, and it's actually getting better.
Well, here's what happened.
Yes or no?
So
Yes or no? Okay, thank
yes.
you.
Which-
Maron
what
de me.
I was going to take it a little further and
Go
give you
ahead.
a little history.
Give us some history.
Because of the accident way back in '72, and after the neck surgery and what have you, and I went to reach with the arm, and it wouldn't work because there was no ligament strong enough to support it, Wayne.
You talking
So
to me?
everything went inward,
Yeah.
and that's right. Because we weren't sending you to therapy back then.
Does cannabis help?
Anyway, after
Does cannabis help?
After 40-some years,
I'm going to cut his mic off already. Does cannabis help?
over 40-some years, I was
Lefty.
able to move my shoulder, Wayne.
Does cannabis help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you
Tell
know
them where
what?
you're from. Tell them where
And-
you're from.
and-
Medical-freedom.com.
And all I can say at this point is, you know what? I really don't give a rat's ass whether you like it or not, or la 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 la. All I can tell you is it's improving the quality of my life. You might want to consider the same for you. I don't know.
Amen. Halaganja. That's a Halaganja story, people. Hey, anyone?
Alaganja.
I can't get no claps.
Good job.
Everyone's
You
busy
guys
here
don't clap
smoking
with
weed.
Jason, hey.
You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim got up. Lefty got up.
I had to
All
get
right,
something.
can we do this now? Did you take care of it? Is
Yeah, I'm
everything
good.
all right?
We're good.
Everything's golden. Lord.
Engineering,
Lord
man.
have
Getting
mercy.
this thing running. So happy. I can't hear you. What? What?
How did we
What?
get the spot on
What?
the grass?
What?
Jay, come on, bro. You know,
better. You know better. Grab that mic
Yeah,
right there.
no.
Or sit down.
No, take a seat in
Just
the
give
mic.
him-
Sit
Jay.
down.
You can't
No,
talk
no,
off
you
camera.
left.
I'm gonna kill
See
all
you,
you.
Jay.
It's the first episode. I'm gonna kill all
boy.
you. I'm serious. Oh my
He doesn't
god.
want you talking off mic.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Really? I'm gonna start yelling at you, all of you.
My dog.
I was a happy hippie when I got here. I'm gonna be the heinous hippie.
Heinous.
Heinous.
Anus?
Heinous.
Heinous. With an H.
What do you?
Hurtful, helpful?
Hurtful.
No, with an H.
Hurtful or helpful?
Michelle Burns is here.
Yes.
Hi, Michelle.
Or
Yes.
hurtful?
What's up, Michelle?
The hospital took her weed and threw it away again. We have to talk to her about that. A hospital threw her cannabis in the
hell-
garbage.
Do you need a
How
seat,
did the
huh?
hospital get it in their possession?
Well, you have to give your stuff away when
for
you
you,
when you
baby
get there. They take your clothes off.
They took her clothes off?
Well, yeah, they take all your stuff. They put it in a locker.
What's
Right,
up,
Michelle?
So then we have thieves.
Yo, we're gonna show.
hold on.
We're gonna share this. So when we have to, you have to talk. Just grab the mic.
we have thieves.
No. There we go. Right there, baby cakes. Oh wow, Lefty came prepared. Oh no,
Already.
maybe not.
That seltzer water's killing me today too.
My-
Just saying.
It's at least it's closed. So
Michelle,
Yes.
what happened? You went to the hospital, and what happened to you?
I went to the hospital and they took inventory of my stuff.
which hospital, may I ask? Real quick?
It's Georgia City Medical, which is now Robert Wood, whatever now.
Thank you.
But I went there and they took my stuff and they put it away in a locker.
Stuff.
My
Your
All of your
pocketbook,
personal
My
belongings.
pocketbook, yeah.
Okay.
and
your
they put it-
weed.
Yeah, my pocketbook which had my weed in it, which I told them I was a
Cannabis.
medical marijuana patient beforehand. But and they took inventory and they showed me what I had with me. So they took inventory of everything I had in the pocketbook, so they knew what I had. After I was leaving, I checked my pocketbook. It wasn't there no more. I said, "Oh, where's my stuff? My pen, my joint, my drawer is empty."
Your medicine.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
took your medicine.
They took my medicine, and they said, "Oh, we took it. We disposed of it in the needle in the sharp container."
Yeah.
And I said, "Why did you do that? I mean, that's my medicine. I told you I was a medical marijuana patient. I don't understand what happened." And they said, "Well, we didn't know what to do with it." And okay,
So they threw it out.
they threw it out. And they gave me after at least a good week, They gave me money for whatever it was.
How much?
I think it was $265 because they took my pen. It was $150.
Wow, hold on. You got
And
them
all you-
actually
and-
get you
wow.
reimbursed?
Yeah, and they gave me money for a basic a jar of weed. So
Okay.
I mean,
Sweet.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
No, they were fair. They were fair. It took them a long time because it was a holiday. So, but they got it back to me. So I'm very happy with them.
Nice.
And what do they say after you got it back? They're going to change the policy or something?
They said
For you?
that they never had this before, and I'm the landstone whatever of them, the groundbreaker. I'm the one who they know the law now.
Nice.
And we'll see if they ever do this to another person ever again.
The Michelle
Wow.
Burns, don't take my
No,
weed
no,
law.
no, no. Don't take
Bam!
Boom! Got it back. So, yeah. So you've been doing the wheelchair war also with us.
Yes, I have.
And how's that going?
That kind of sucks.
You can't get in nowhere, right?
Especially in Jersey City. I mean, Jersey City sucks. I don't believe it did, but I guess in a wheelchair it really does.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
I couldn't get my hair done, couldn't get my nails done.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
BMW, I think it's mine.
That's yeah. Anybody? We're giving away a BMW.
We're giving.
We have a BMW to give away.
kidding.
We just asked you to put money in the raffle here. Put $10. $10 in the thing. We'll give you
Whoever
a
has a
Mercedes.
BMW and lost your keys, just come see us.
Yeah,
Come
right,
see us, and
exactly.
we'll extort you
They're up here.
because you snitched us out. Now we got your car. Whoever snitched us out, we got your car. I guarantee that's what happened.
Watch out with them unions. But don't worry, we got our own union.
Thank you. You got it? Oh, that's the car.
Well,
Oh, you found the key right there. Okay, thank you, sir. All right.
if you lost your key,
It's
come
right
see
here.
us. Shh. If you lost your key, come see us.
So, Michelle, what's going on with the wheelchair war? It's really depressing me. I actually cried the other day in Jersey City because my grandma lived in that area. My aunt was a shut-in, and there's nothing to do in Jersey City. Not
No,
pharmacies.
I really do like Jersey City, and I really do go there often.
Oh, Assemblyman Reed
it's amazing.
Gusciora, how are you doing? Sorry, I hate to cut you off,
That's
but
okay.
he does have a couple of bills, with marijuana legalization.
Give him that mic for
Give
a
him that
second.
mic.
Give him
I'm
that
not
mic.
giving up that seat, though.
You're not giving up the seat. Give up the mic. Hi, Reed.
Viceland News is coming to Trenton today.
Really?
Leo's, but I got
Nice.
Yeah, great, thanks.
We thought you were here to be on our
Yeah, come on.
podcast.
Just say a few words, Reed, please.
He's
Talk
got to
about
leave. He's
cannabis.
got to
Let's talk about
leave.
your bill.
Sooner or later, he's got to leave.
We want to hear about your cannabis bill.
It's going through the legislature. We're. Oh, is it?
Don't worry, he can talk. They hear you, Assemblyman.
We're very excited to bring real economic empowerment to the capital city. We want to deal with the disparity in arrests, and we want to break up the licensure into 4 different licensures so that we could have different entrepreneurs come in and take care of different aspects of the
So we could have the growers and dispensaries separate.
transportation. Yes.
Oh, transportation as well. That's awesome.
Yes, and so that way, when you break it up and you limit the licensure, you won't be squozing out by the big corporations, and we'll have some real economic engines for particularly in the urban areas.
Mom and pop cannabis.
We appreciate
Mom and
that.
pop
yeah.
cannabis.
That's
You're
what we
also
want.
running for mayor for Trenton.
Oh, yes.
I am.
Yes, all right.
All right.
All right.
So
That's our next mayor,
We
guys.
want to move the city forward, clean up the streets, fill the potholes, clean the alleys, and get the city moving.
Would you believe that as a citizen of the city of Trenton, that Reed Gusciora is the only candidate who's spoken publicly about this? Out of the 7
Yes.
candidates, Reed is the only one. And mind you, our elections are May 8th,
May 8th.
and it's now April 12th today.
It's today.
And at April 12th, only Reed is the only one who has spoken about bringing industry to the capital city.
Yes.
Not much less the state, but
Yes.
into
I
the capital city.
I
Reed-
gotta thank you guys for
Reed-
coming out here and keeping the issue alive.
Reed, real quick.
This is my rebirthday, thanks to someone
Yes,
like
happy
you.
birthday.
I've lost 175 pounds because of leaders like you that had the courage to stand up to what was corrupt. So we're going to all get off drugs using God's flower buds because of you.
Reed, one
Thank you.
question.
It's an opiate.
What can we do about wheelchair access in Trenton? The wheelchair access in Trenton is very bad. Look across the street here. If you're in a wheelchair, what can we do about that? It's a tough question. I know.
It is a tough question because we have all these historic buildings, but perhaps they could work on creating a safer alley. We got to fill the alley potholes and that way we could have accessibility at least through the back door. But it is a big challenge, particularly in a historic neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this is also something that he's spoken of in the mayoral forums.
Yeah.
Like I'm serious, dude. Like I've been paying attention
and
watching.
AIDS pin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a pot leaf.
Hey, Nick, showing your pen.
Cannabis leaf. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Support cannabis.
You're the great leader who's going to get
We appreciate that. I got a quick question for you, Mr. Gusciora.
Go green, yes.
Michael Patrick
He's the
Carroll.
one who started it, Jim. Jim and his wife.
Yeah.
Jim and his wife visited my office, what about 20 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, we met in 2000.
Yeah. Almost
18.
Almost 20 years.
We've gotten older,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
We've gotten older. And this is one of our great
All right.
political leaders.
Ask your question, Wayne.
Reed Gusciora.
I got a quick question. A fellow Assemblyman, Michael Patrick Carroll, has
Good
a
guy.
bill out.
Yes.
A1557. Your thoughts?
Well, Mike approaches it from a libertarian perspective. I support his initiative as well. I think at the end of the day we're going to merge the bills. But he's a good ally, particularly on the other side of the aisle.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reed. Good luck with your mayor race.
Well, thanks so much, and keep on keeping on.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Reed Gusciora, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Your next mayor
Special
of Trenton.
thanks.
That's your next mayor, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard it here.
Lives have been saved because of that man, and we don't have to know who they
That's
are
right.
or where they are. I guarantee you, with my life, that many lives have been saved by what Assemblyman Reed Gusciora has done.
God bless you, Senator.
So,
Assemblyman.
And, and the governor's like full on board with this
Not
plan,
afraid to
too.
step up.
Yeah, like he did it. You know, that's the type of candidate we need as a mayor in the city of Trenton. You know, truth be told, if we're going to change the status quo and change how we move forward in this space and do this together, you know, we have to do things like, you know, with groups like CMMJ, NJUMR, New Jersey Cannabis Commission, Minorities for Medical Marijuana, you know, all these, different organizations from a advocacy and policy perspective have been very instrumental. And Bill Caruso's here. You
Bill
know,
Caruso
see, I just said NJUMR. There you go.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, see, look, see. You know what I'm
That
saying?
beautiful green tie he has too, huh? I'll tell you, another cannabis-friendly New Jersey guy right here. This is beautiful.
Good man too. That's another one who's taking his lumps. You know, got to give a shout out to Pete Camerano too, and NJCIA. I mean, they really, put in the what I like to call the sweat equity to get things going. Dara Service and Hugh O'Byrne, Scott Rudder and them with New Jersey Cannabis Business Association. Even though these are trade organizations, they're still, have always been in the forefront with trying to push the initiative and the policies and pushing that envelope. New Jersey's looked at as a unicorn by the industry right now because we will be the second state to ever legislatively legalize cannabis. And what that means is that it brings order to chaos because we all know the industry as a whole is in a state of chaos. Hasn't been kind to people of color and women. We're standing in the midst of an opioid abuse and addiction epidemic. All of these things that we have ACLU said 25,000 arrests for marijuana possession and 2/3 of them look like me. These are people who have been fighting this.
What do you mean, big guys?
I know, right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Us too, especially us. I'm gonna have to think twice about putting my hands before my back. But
sorry, bro. I didn't mean to fucking. Sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm just keep. I'm gonna
on a
ride
roll.
on it.
You
Yeah,
on
I'm
a
gonna just
roll,
roll
man.
on it, man. Hey, it ain't like you lying. Oh, wait a shot out.
This medicine brings everyone together. It's crazy.
Hey, it makes the strangest of bedfellows. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, hey, as we talk about bringing this industry here, it's not just the cannabis industry that's going to, it's not just sparking up, what's happening here in the cannabis industry, but there's a lot of other industries that are going to be directly affected by the coming of of this industry.
We have a gift.
We got PSE&G standing right here, and my one question for PSE&G folks is are you guys prepared for the cannabis industry? Because we putting y'all to work.
Once we start growing.
This is them lights.
Lights, baby. We love
all that stuff. Yeah, y'all gonna have to cut that on.
Air conditioning.
We have gifts.
Yeah, so whatever you need.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Whatever you need.
I'm sugar-free. I'm sugar-free. Sorry.
Yeah, so, truth be told, whatever they need as far as support goes, let us know. We got you, because we all in this. The food industry is going to have to be prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what happened with Papa John's when cannabis went legal in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? It was like an adrenaline shot. You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
So there's a number of industries that are going to be directly affected. And let me speak to this real quick, too. STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. That's another thing that is going to be directly affected by the coming industry. The fastest growing demographic in this industry is the elderly. It's getting folks off of all those medications, allowing folks to be much more functionable, and able to, without being on that opioid stuff. A lot of that stuff is happening. So these are all things that, we have to make sure that as a state who's legislatively legalizing cannabis, we got to make sure we going straight into the books. That's the difference between, this being, rather than this being a ballot referendum. Because when you do it, when it's a ballot referendum, you pretty much have to size up the entire industry in one question that to be answered either yes or no. And that's not good. That's how the industry has stayed in a state of chaos. And remember, this industry is so baby, there isn't even an industry standard unit of measurement yet. See what I'm saying? Only us. We are the only people who will ever experience the end of cannabis prohibition in New Jersey. Not our kids too young, not our parents too old, us that can do something about it. And we have to, and by the way that we do it, we essentially can bring order to the industry, bring order to chaos. Because then what New Jersey will be is New Jersey will be the jumping off point or the standard for other states as they fall. The other states will take what New Jersey did and make it even better, and then make it even better and better and better. You see what I'm saying? But we also have to be aware of what other industries are affected by it, positively and negatively. The industries that are negatively affected by cannabis legalization, well, the pharmaceutical industry, they've been working in this state for generations. The alcohol industry, they got long money. They've been here for generations. And the prison industrial complex, that's big money. It's bad when you got when you got sheriff's departments complaining that their beds aren't filled. Sound like a good problem to have if you ask me.
Exactly.
So all of these things,
Tobacco
are
too.
Yeah, and all of these things require a particular type of macro level thinking. And once we start thinking on a macro level, you know what I'm saying, it empowers us to be able to right a very, very serious wrong. PTSD is not a veteran thing. There is a thing called inner city acquired PTSD. And if you live here in Trenton, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can walk from one end of Stuyvesant to the other and you'll have PTSD. And that's so these are things that we have to, education of the consumer is paramount. It is absolutely paramount because most people in the state of New Jersey are just finding out just how advanced in this conversation the state really is. And there's a lot of people who are using old, outdated, and scientifically debunked information to drive home a point that doesn't exist anymore. If the legalization effort in New Jersey was a television series, we are in season 8, episode 2. They are in season 1, episode 3. And so that's what's the frustrating part. And so it's like, spoiler alert, it's not a gateway drug. That's season 3, episode 7. It'll blow your mind. In season 8, what we're talking about STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We're talking import, export, globalization, interstate commerce, all things that have, these are all terms that haven't gone, that will be synonymous with the cannabis industry as it plays out here in New Jersey, and it needs to be reflective of the population. This state has 9 million people living here, and if you look within in a 100 square mile radius of where we're sitting at right now, you have access to over 27 million people. We're sandwiched between Philadelphia and New York, the #1 cannabis consuming city in the world, and all they have is medical marijuana. They don't even, and you can't even get it in. You can only get it in oil form. So you see what I'm saying? It's like our work is mighty. The things that we have to do. This is going to be a very mighty type of endeavor here. We need to move the table. Oh, okay. So the things that we're doing, we're really, and there's a lot of people who were here at the beginning, that took their lumps, that took and was dragged through the mud, and now it's time for us to start educating. Education. Not just agitation, but education.
Exactly.
Peace.
Well spoken.
Thank you, Wayne.
I like how you hit on all the topics.
With our big selves.
Damn straight.
Hey, we keep you warm in the winter.
Joe, don't move in.
Uh-oh.
What?
What's up?
What was that, William?
I don't know. He's hurting. So,
come on over.
Next up on the mic,
TJ's coming over. TJ's got something to say. He's been chomping at the bit.
It's his birthday today.
I know. Today's your birthday.
He says it's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, talk to the mic. Just
Hi,
like you're in
everybody.
jail.
My name's TJ Finnerty. It's my 57th birthday today. And thank God for medical cannabis because I've lost 175 pounds.
Close up.
Last year's birthday, I weighed 105 pounds heavier. So I had turned off cut off all the weight with the cannabis and tossed all the pills, and I'm living on this plant alone. And it's very exciting to be on the vanguard of fighting addiction with a normal plant. So I'm here to share my experience, strength, and hope with this plant and how I reversed 20 years of disability on psychiatric meds for my PTSD that I got from being abused as a young child, including being shot by my brother at the age of 13 before I went into high school. And I've been in recovery a long time, and I realized that I grew up in an alcoholic home, and that is so common in America. Addiction is rampant, and abuse is rampant, and PTSD is not only inflicted by gunshot wounds and sexual abuse like I've been through, but also by watching your parents being beaten, by living in a corrupt situation, by hearing gunshots and rats and roaches, and it's a very common problem. So I think PTSD has been the most commonly misdiagnosed condition out there, and I can back that up with the fact that I got a 4.0 grade point average at Seton Hall University in counseling psychology, but I fell 9 credits shy because the medications crippled me when the doctor switched them again on me and sold me some antipsychotics that were more expensive than the brand I was on before. So I'm here and I'm wearing my green shirt.
Nice.
I am financially broken, but physically fit. And I own jobhire.com, JOBHIGHER.com, the broken website, because Big Pharma broke me by using me as a test tube for over 20 years. And when my doctor got the death penalty and God killed him, another doctor picked me up and said, I'm going to give you a cannabis card. And I said, that's even offensive to a guy with 30 years in the rooms. How could you even suggest that? And he said, look it up. You're a grad student. Cannabis is probably the best medicine out there for PTSD. And I don't know how the doctors overlooked your gunshot wound for 50 years, but they did. And they called me bipolar. They called me schizophrenic. And they sold me the latest, greatest drug that they had. At the age of 6, they started medicating me with Ritalin. And I think those have been pushed far too long in America. And I'm going to hone this to everybody. We're going to get off drugs with God's flower buds.
Yes. Say it loud in that mic. Get on that mic.
We're going to get off drugs with God's flower buds.
I want to hear that. There you go.
Get off drugs with God's flower buds. Get off drugs with God's flower buds. Get
Nice.
off drugs
So
with God's
we should put that to a
flower
beat.
Yeah, let's
It
go.
is time
Georgio.
to open the gateway to God's garden of recovery for everybody.
Get off drugs with God's flower buds. Get off drugs
I
with
need a
God's
better
flower
producer.
buds. Get off drugs with God's flower buds. Get
Get
off drugs with God's flower buds. Get off drugs with God's flower buds. Get off drugs with God's. I like that.
Everybody
You do it.
wants to calm down.
Yeah, put some reverb on it. Hey, Scott Rudder's in the house. Hi, Scott Rudder. We love you.
Trying to crack your ass down, too.
Can
you get over here? Get over here, Scott.
Get
Get
over
over
here,
here,
Scott.
Scott. We
Give
got
me 2
questions.
minutes.
Come on
2
now.
minutes. Come on over here.
It's my
Come on.
birthday.
What's going on, buddy?
And you've been dodging me
How are
long
you?
enough.
Introduce him correctly.
Scott Rudder
Hey,
from
Scott.
New Jersey Cannabis Business.
Hey, what's happening,
Hey.
guys? So
How
what's
are you
going
today?
on? I got meetings back to back today, advocating about legalization. So that's where I'm
Awesome.
going into right
Awesome.
now.
Nice.
I want to ask
awesome.
you one question, Scott.
Yes, sir.
I have a master's in HR from Rutgers University, the top school in the country, and I can't use it because I'm using medical cannabis and I'll get screened out of a job.
That's outrageous.
I am unemployed right now and homeless because Chris Christie's corrupt system wouldn't give me $1 in social services,
Okay.
despite me owning 3 homes in this state. I used to own a $1 million home in Warren Township, New Jersey, a volunteer firefighter, and I couldn't get one goddamn dollar of support. They didn't medicate me for 4 months when I went homeless, and I had to rely on cannabis. I came off 8 psychiatric meds for this one flower bud.
Right.
I am drug-free completely and lost 175
I know,
pounds.
man. I've seen the before
But I am
picture.
financially broke. Job hire is broken. It's
Yeah.
my fucking birthday today.
TJ.
It's my
Happy birthday. Happy
rebirthday.
fucking birthday.
TJ.
Everybody's going to take my calls because
There you go.
I'm coming out of the
TJ.
darkness.
Yeah, man.
All right? This is a Rocky Mountain recovery story, New Jersey homegrown. We're going to sell a lot of weed with job hire. Job performance
this guy,
enhancing
by this
weed.
guy
Yeah,
doing the
this guy.
lobbying.
You got it?
Yeah. You got a question for
You are a
Scott?
champion, but you got to take my calls.
You got a question for
Yes,
Scott?
sir.
Give Scott
All
a
right.
question. You got a question for him?
Scott,
Take my fucking calls.
how are you going to follow up on this? And homegrown would be a great way to do that.
Oh,
Homegrown.
homegrown. Please, please, please.
All right. Well. Oh,
Please.
Good
I
question,
know
right?
we caught you in the middle of
God, I am a
going
highly
and doing
educated
your
man.
job.
I will say this. I will say this, and I've been very clear about it. We don't advocate for or against homegrown. That is not our mission. So when there's homegrown in the bill, we're going to support the bill. If the homegrown is not in the bill, we're going to support the bill. Our objective in the New Jersey Cannabis Association is get a legal bill and prohibition. That's the main objective.
There you go.
But we're not fighting for or against homegrown at all. So we're agnostic on that one as our mission statement. But if it's in there, God bless America. If
fighting
it's
for
not in there, we're
legalization.
still moving forward.
You may evolve on that. though.
Fighting for
You may
I
evolve.
may evolve. I know other Republicans have evolved on that recently.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Boner. Yeah. right.
Boehner, not Boner.
Boehner.
That's that. You
Oh,
only
I'm
have.
sorry, I'm
That's
sorry.
for the morning. That's for the morning. All right,
Boehner,
gotta go.
Boner.
Thank you, Scott Rudder. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Scott
you.
Rudder. I
Thank
talked
you.
to you soon.
New Jersey Cannabis Business Association. Beautiful.
There you
We're
go.
having a decent birthday, I think, right?
Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff.
I'm still homeless, living with a friend who took me in because Chris Christie wouldn't do shit for me. And he's doing that to a lot of people, isn't he?
Talk into that mic. Look at me and talk into the mic.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
because
she's
you're
looking at me.
Yeah, but you're
I'm-
talking off the mic. You got to
I'm
talk
trying to
into.
look at the camera,
You got to
too.
talk
Into the
well,
mic.
then
Don't
pick
worry
up the
about the
mic. Then
camera.
pick it up. Pick it up.
Well,
pick
you
it up.
gotta do
You
both.
You want to look at
About-
the pretty girls?
right.
Pick the mic up. Then you can look
They
at the
got
pretty
ugly
girls.
people on
There
TV.
you
They
go.
don't care about
There you
that.
go. Look at the
How's
pretty
that?
girls now.
All right.
Now you're looking at me.
Oh, okay.
Frankie
You got the
Sinatra
Now you're
detail.
looking at me.
over
I'm
here.
not a girl. 2 people told me I was a girl. Hey,
Okay.
ma'am.
So-
Ma'am. I turned
Now,
around. Oh,
now
sorry,
we can
sir.
share the mic because we're
Embarrassing.
going down to D.C. to really talk about this question.
Who are you?
I'm Shell from Delaware.
Hey, Shell, how are you?
So you always usually see me here about decarceration and
Yes,
get people
thank you.
out of jail. But here I'm going down next week to fight opiates and recommend cannabis as an exit strategy and talk to them more and educate them. So anybody wants to come down, we're going down on the 26th.
I'd be glad to come. Can I come down and teach Finnerty? My brother was an opioid addict who shot me with a 38 when I was a freshman in high school.
Bam.
And then he framed me for it.
Where's the gun?
Isn't it great living with a drug addict? I mean, geez.
You don't have the gunshot thing, you know?
You didn't know I was a gunshot victim. Okay, well, I'm a
No,
gunshot victim.
we did, and we had like a gunshot, you know.
I don't have the
sound.
samplers not hooked up.
So how does it feel that you're being an activist and you're changing the world?
Some days awesome and wonderful and fantastic, and other days I just want to crawl into bed and cry and not see anybody ever again.
Yeah,
I was
same
crawling
here.
in bed. I was actually hugging a pillow last night. I'm pretty damn lonely, and I'm looking for a lady to play with.
Oh, well, you know, we have some things to cuddle over because in Delaware, apparently, we're not allowed to buy guns, and they've given our list to the government. So if you go in to buy a gun, they know you're a cannabis patient, and they will refuse you.
And that's the brilliant
Wow.
that Governor Murphy's brilliance. And everybody needs to make this a recreational thing because other people don't want to talk about their problems like we are. We are on the vanguard. We are the courageous ones telling the world our problems so they don't have to tell their problems. And they can just go into a recreational store and find medicine and recover in silence, which most people like to do, especially if they're slipping in and out of denial with addiction. So get off these lists that take guns away from people that are calmer on cannabis than they could ever be on alcohol. And we can cut back on the trigger rate out there, right?
Has anybody ever seen anybody on opioids or any other thing that you're prescribed? These
Yeah, you want to watch? You want to see it? Here, it looks like this.
But you're not on the gun list. You're not on the no gun list when you get any other prescription. How come my HIPAA rights are violated? How come that sanctity of my prescription is turned over to the government? What the heck is that all about? And I had friends, and if anybody's listening from Delaware and you want to get on the list, we might be doing a class action lawsuit, so just let us know.
Awesome. All right.
I also have a background in criminal justice, and I don't know there's too many marijuana gunners out there.
Yeah, you got a mic.
There's not too many people blowing people away who are smoking pot. They're usually drinking or they're on psych meds of some sort.
But that doesn't disallow us to have our Second Amendment rights. A lot of people are out there on farms with farms and growing, and they have critters and wildlife, and they hunt, and they have everything else. So how do I give up any of those rights as an American?
You shouldn't have to give up your
Shouldn't have
Second
to give
Amendment
any
right
of
to
those
exercise your
rights
right to
up
live.
just for my health and for my medicine. It's really outrageous. So I'm so glad you guys are still here. You guys are my heroes. You're the ones
Ah,
who have been
please.
out here.
You're my hero. You come all the way up from Delaware.
All the way. Oh my God, it's so far.
God, I'm blending in with
I
the
hate to
shock
say, I
jocks over
love
here.
coming to Jersey, no matter what everybody says about it. I love coming to Jersey.
Well, you see, you enter South Jersey. If you enter from Bayonne, you get that funky smell. You know, so
No, I get the first seashore down here. I
Exactly.
get the nice Jersey store
see
smell.
why you
So
love Jersey.
I love Jersey.
You come the other way, it's not so nice. But anyway, you do an awesome job too. You fight for those who are in jail, incarcerated for cannabis.
I try, it's a hard road. Even the people who are for cannabis say, well, later or after we get this or after we get that. It's always somehow, well, we'll put it on the back burner. Well, so people are, did you see how many arrests were Christmas time? Do you see how many people are still being arrested for transporting, possessing?
I saw the one 80-year-old couple.
They got arrested twice. Did you know that? They
Twice?
got arrested on one's going and one's coming back.
They're like, yeah, no, we weren't going to sell it. These
Bill
are our
Caruso.
presents.
They
Are you
were.
coming
They were
over?
presents for the family, actually. The California weed to Vermont and the Vermont weed to the Californians.
Hey, Bill.
Buddy.
How you doing?
The ugly
Come here.
truth is.
I gotta
is
talk to
that-
Bill.
Oh.
We gotta talk to Bill for 1 second. He's
Sure.
always running somewhere. Bill, please sit down, please. What's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm doing great. We have a lot of challenges right now related to our effort, but I want to pay some props here. I think the most important thing that we're doing right now as a group, and there's a big group here. There's every time you turn around, there's a new organization that's formed related to what we're doing in a positive way. But the work going on at the municipal level, and I give props to you, my friend, to be able to flip towns. You flipped Jersey City last night.
Did you? Good
Yeah.
for
There's
you.
nothing more important right now than that message, because that's going to help here. And we're in front of the State House right now, and we're trying to get a bill voted on to get to the governor's desk. We just had the governor expand medicinal marijuana, but you're going to have a supply problem really quickly. When they only expanded on the current licenses without allowing new ones, and I work with groups like NJUMR that's fighting for racial diversity in the industry. There is none right now. We have a long road to go yet, but I'm concerned most importantly because I'm talking to patients right now. We're in a ticking time bomb. I mean, they've got no supply. You got a 45-day wait period if you are a patient right now, and there's no real plan to kind of get that better real quick. We got a lot more patients getting access. That's the most important thing right now. But if they can't get their medicine, then what do we do? So, well, and that's and the young lady just said, and we can't afford a medicine. That's the next chapter too. We got to figure out all of this. But supply. The availability of supply and competition
if you
help
can afford
the
it
pricing.
or can afford it, if it's not there, it's the same thing.
It is, but
what are your plans to try to get some supply out there? Because
listen,
say my story, people are going to be at the pot shop.
It's our collective plans, and it comes together with there's a cacophony of voices out there, and what we got to figure out is what are the most important things right now, and I think one of the most important things right now is to be at these town council meetings. Because if a town council erroneously decides that, like I've heard this brilliant wisdom, the lawyer in me comes out, well, we're only going to ban recreational, but we're not going to ban medicinal. Well, there's no ability to do that.
Parsippany.
Well, and you educate, and you learn, and they learn. And, you went into the town of Bridgewater, and you found that there were some partisan reasons why some of those folks were involved on the opposite side. But then you found some good people that really had, and you always find these bonds, right? Yeah. So where we stand today is, that's the most important advocacy. And, I'm a lobbyist. I'm a lawyer and I'm a lobbyist. I get paid to go in this building and I lobby on a million different things. But not everybody has that ability. But we all have the ability to show up at our town council. Every person sitting home right now or sitting on your couch has the ability, when you find out one of these things is going on, you're, lefties putting the flags up, we all have the ability to show up, meet with our mayor, meet with our council. That's who they care about, the voters.
We're scared, though, Bill, because a lot of us can't come out. Like, I came out, now I'm almost unemployable because I've told everybody in the world I use cannabis.
Yeah.
I got better on cannabis, but corroded it on the chemicals. And employers can still discriminate against people who are getting healthier on cannabis. And when the word gets out, the world is going to come and burn down the people that did outlaw the God's Garden of Recovery here, because when the word gets out that we're going to get off drugs with God's flower buds and people find out, they're going to be buying a lot of weed and they're going to be very angry about this.
Listen, it's a concern. I'll say this to you. I'm not a medical card holder for a variety of reasons because of the stigma.
Yeah.
I'm an accomplished attorney. I'm a guy that's politically connected and active here, and I've had concerns myself. But I'll also say this to you now: the tide is changing. And you're starting to see, we had a conversation the other day with some business interests that are concerned. They have nothing to do with cannabis, but they have businesses. These folks here standing on the street, PSE&G and others, they want to know, well, wait a minute, what about the work rules, right? What's going to happen here? And the answer is, if you're operating heavy machinery right now and you have work rules in place that say you can't be on certain substances, those work rules are going to remain in place for cannabis. We're not going to be able to change that today, but if you're an attorney like me and I can go home and have a martini at night, there's no reason why I can't enjoy cannabis recreationally or for medicinal purposes. It isn't going to affect my job performance, and that's the education that has to go on. We're doing that collectively day by day, and as much as it's important for us to be in front of town councils and other things, all of us collectively, I think, having conversations with our employers or with other business groups, it matters. And I think it's one by one, two by two, the ability to stand together shoulder to shoulder and say, hey, you know me, you see me, I'm in the suit and tie, but here's my buddy in a t-shirt. We're all the same here. It doesn't really matter. We're not harming society. We're actually improving society by being, treated for whatever's afflicting us without opioids, by the way, that are addictive. We're dealing with people that have had debilitating diseases that could not work and now can work and are contributing to society again. That's the message, I think, that's starting to penetrate with folks. And Jim Miller and I were talking about insurance coverage. A young lady here has just said about affording this. Well, it's a crawl, walk, run. We got to get this legalized. We've got to change the federal government's view of this by descheduling. But we also have to go back and make an economic argument to insurance companies. If you're a workers' comp insurance company, you want to do two things. You want to get more premiums, and you don't want to pay out a lot of money to the sick. It's sad. It's true.
I
okay.
gotta ask you a question.
All right, here, let me follow up.
Hold on, it goes right into that.
Yeah.
That insurance companies have been mandated to pay for a 28 inpatient stay for anybody that's addicted.
Yes.
I mean, the same in companies, whether it's a different way at them. So they have no say about that. So somebody, if you're addicted, it's going to be $25,000 if you find a cheap place to put them with about 25% chance maybe of a success. What I'm saying is the 25% or so reduction in mortality rate for overdoses indicates that they would have a lot fewer 28-day stays if patients were having cannabis with their opiates in the first place. So it would lessen that load, and you know, if it came up even, in other words, if they're spending money on cannabis but less, you know, for 28-day stays, it's got to do the compassion thing then.
Well,
it's
corporate America doesn't do compassion well.
No, we
but
know
they
that.
They do bean counting really well. And I'm making a different argument here. There's 3 ways to get this done. Compassion, I think we're going to fail in that effort. Mandate.
No,
well,
we're going to fail. We failed on that every time we tried.
The mandate side is difficult here. This body behind us, the state government, generally is adverse to mandates upon insurers. They've done them in the past.
It took a week to get that one done.
No, I understand. But
7 days, they got that done.
Well, but it was you can make an argument it was decades in the making, though, to
Yeah,
get it there.
yeah.
But where we stand today, though, I think
Come
it's
on,
a better
man, help
place.
me out.
Dollars and cents. Jim, you made this argument. So go back to your
Let
argument.
me help with
Yeah,
this.
no,
I'm a former IBMer. I'll tell you about job performance, and that's what this is about. I got fired by IBM for not following the rehab rules of being on the psych meds that they put me on that made me unstable. I escalated it to John Aker's office, at the CEO of IBM at the time. I worked right next door to Donald Trump at IBM headquarters in Manhattan. And when I escalated it to the CEO of IBM, they rehired me because it was a psychiatric dosing problem.
Okay.
The problem is we're screening out our Graceway drug. And a lot of workers are going to be a lot healthier. And employers have a dichotomous problem right now. Cannabis is going to turn out to be the healer for a lot of people who are going to perform a lot better and take a lot better shit when they're doing high-powered politics jobs on cannabis. You drink 1 drop of alcohol, you get 1 liter of depression. Every human being does.
I get it.
This is a neuroprotectant, and we are obviously getting healthier. Now, people are chilling out, people are losing weight, people are performing better. I can return a 110-mile-an-hour tennis serve much better than I could on those psych meds. Everybody's proving that cannabis is a career-changing drug, too, because it brought me out of the darkness to have enough courage to fight this thing.
Nice.
And if someone like us can scrape it out, can you imagine how good a high-performance professional like you can perform on better cannabis? So when everybody finds out, and Donald Trump finds out, that we can green up America here and green up the workforce and lead to a wealthier wellness for everybody, now the money's going to reach in. So...
Well, listen,
we don't
I go back
swear
to
and
this
we don't
point.
say those 2 names.
We gotta get to a place first where we got to get this legal here in the state. We got to get to a place where the federal government, and they're moving in this direction, is going to reschedule. But I go back to this point about making this medicine affordable and allowing for insurance coverage for those that have insurance, by the way. That's another question. This is an economic argument. It is a safer and more effective and cheaper way to treat pain, addiction recovery, and all the like. And that's going to be our winning argument back with the insurers.
That's catch-22, though. You know, actually,
and not to
it's a
mention
very
our
good
childhood
point.
insults.
It's
Everybody suffers from these things.
Yeah.
And this is the best antidepressant out there by far. I've been on every psych med on the planet. And this one plant will cure you holistically in a way. So America, get ready. Bill Caruso has been leading the charge here. And we're going to have to grow a lot of weed very soon.
Well, you know, if the insurance companies did pay for it, then patients would have the money they weren't spending on their medicine to buy insurance. I mean, it's a sort of a catch-22. Where does all their money go? You know, it's I can't afford 2 ounces of...
Well, Bill, I stole your
month.
microphone just to thank you and God bless you, because my mother died from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And if they want to list any other actual pharmaceutical medication that works besides cannabis, please do. So the insurance company should pay for the medicine that would literally save my mother's life. There is no other medicine out there. They haven't provided any medicine. It's been proven to, if not cure, at least prolong the life of ALS sufferers by decades. And it's just inhumane.
It's a quality of life issue.
A quality of life issue. How my mother died, literally covered in patches for fentanyl and strong narcotics, where she could have literally lived to see other grandchildren born if she had been allowed insurance provided cannabis. Thank you so much for your efforts.
Thank you. Hey, one other thing, and I apologize because it is a legislative day, and I got other things, unfortunately, I got to deal with today. But I would say there's another opportunity for us all. There's a legislative hearing in New Brunswick. The Assembly has taken this issue up now, finally. There's a legislative hearing this Saturday in New Brunswick. Assemblyman or Chairman Joe Danielson's going to be holding the second hearing now. I call it open mic night for the or open mic day for the legislature. But it's important that advocates in Middlesex County, we had a lot of folks who have said, hey, when is going to be something that's not during work hours? Well, if you're around on Saturday and you have the ability and the time, show up in New Brunswick. There's other ones. There's tons of dates out there on different places you can go. You don't have to come to Trenton. You can wait. There's one in South Jersey. There's one in North Jersey too.
Atlantic City.
Yep. Well, there's other stuff going on.
Senator Rice.
Yeah, and I think that the good news for us right now is there's a lot of forums out there to speak to the elected officials about this issue. Lefty, you're doing it out there in the towns. The Assembly's holding hearings now. The Senate will probably be back. There were budget hearings just recently, open mic night for the budget process. I know folks opined in that too. So the more we're out there speaking, the better we are because you're educating the public.
Bill, did you see the Jersey City jump?
I did.
What you think about that?
Here's what
It's sad. It's really sad. It's funny, but it's sad.
You have done something remarkable because you take incredibly sad things, you find the humor, right, to make it bridgeable, but you also have gone out and gone toe-to-toe with very powerful, influential people in politics, and you've won. And, I don't say this disparagingly to you. You're not a registered lobbyist. You're not some money-powered guy. This is a testament to the power of the people. You have taken the power of the people, and a group of patients have gone in and in a grassroots way sat in front of town councils that were made up in their minds already. Guys, the joke is when it goes up on the agenda, it's already been voted on.
Yeah.
You stop things from happening. There's nothing more profound going on in New Jersey right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
All right, I'm out.
I'm looking to become a hired lobbyist.
Fact.
Do it.
Yeah. How do I get George Soros to pay for this?
I don't know. I don't have any contacts there.
No backdoor dealings with them.
Yeah, he probably does. He's
no,
just
I wish. It's good seeing you guys.
Thank
all right.
you, Bill.
Bill Caruso.
I'll send you a quick email later.
Oh, it's nice.
He's the man.
See,
we need more politicians like that around our cannabis industry, people.
How can I be the man
Finally,
with
a
Bill's the man?
lobbyist we can follow.
We got elections coming up. Look for them in your area because they're around.
And another thing I've found when I go get my medicine at Compassionate Sciences, it's always crowded there. And there's a waiting room with people sitting there. And there's so much misconception. I try not to take part. It's like undercover boss. I'm sitting there minding my own business. And I hear the conversations stating things that aren't really true, or I have the answer and they're wondering, and so I out myself, tell them who I am, and I suggest to them that everything they're saying, they should say it to their two assembly people and their senator, and if they're shy about talking to people, call their office at 9 o'clock. Nobody will be there. There'll be an answering machine on. Say what you want to say. It counts just as much as talking to a person. And you can do that. I mean, there's always an answering machine on.
And honestly, the ladies in the office usually who just answer the phone calls are the nicest ladies. They just love to take the messages.
But
they
people
don't really have any opinions on it. They're
people
really
don't.
sweet.
They're shy about doing stuff like this. They find reasons not to. But I see the light going on. But when I told them that we'd like to try to make this to where insurance companies would pay and it'd be a long road, they to a point, what could I do to help? That is the answer.
I still encourage people, if they're intimidated by phone calls, you have a device in your hand.
We have a phone call.
Literally in your hand.
We have a phone call.
All right. phone call.
You're on the air.
Hey, it's Rob. How you doing?
Hey, Rob. What's going on, buddy?
Hanging in there. I'm at the mall right now at the virtual reality stand.
So what's going on? What's your story, man?
All right, so pretty much I started activism back in like 2013, 14. I used to go to all the Trenton events, the ones in Philly, and then eventually I had to start this business in order to support my mother. She's not able to work the hours that she used to with her spinal injury, and she got massive nerve damage up and down her body. And she just recently qualified for medical cannabis, so she's gonna. We have to figure out how to actually go about getting her to go through all the paperwork and all that. She doesn't know where to start. But that's another story. So yeah, right now I'm currently just 7 days a week running the VR stand, and I was thinking of ways I can kind of give back to you guys since I'm not able to actually get out there anymore. And the only thing I could think of is having all medical cannabis patients in New Jersey able to use the VR stand for free whenever they want.
What is that? What is the VR?
So the VR, it's like a gaming chair, and then you put these goggles on, and there's different kinds of simulations you can do. There's different things for each intensity level. You can do things like scenic tours in different countries. You can go skydiving. There's some roller coasters, horror films, but it's fully immersive. It actually puts you in a different setting, makes you feel like you're actually there. It's perfect for people with limited mobility, so you don't even have to get out of a wheelchair. Some people are wheelchair bound, but it's a crazy experience. Everyone loves it when they get off of it.
That sounds pretty cool. I like it already.
Yeah, so definitely we want any medical cannabis patients in Jersey to just feel free to come out whenever they want. They can either ask for me if I'm not here, to say you're a guest with Robert, and the whole entire experience is completely free.
Awesome. Now, are you a patient yourself?
I just recently qualified after the changes and all that, but I have like seriously no time to be able to get out there and do the paperwork and go to the doctor visits. So I'm kind of just, stuck doing it the old way.
Wow. Okay. Well, good luck, brother.
And on a side note, if you ever get time, can you shoot me some instructions on how to actually get my mother in there? Because she qualifies now, but she doesn't know where to go or who to talk to.
Oh, hold on. Aubrey's here, and Aubrey has maybe something to say about that. Can you help? Can you help his mother? Do you know how? What town are you in?
Right now, I'm in Belmar.
Belmar. Wait, which Belmar?
Yeah.
The longer spelt one, the one that's away from the beach.
Okay, I can help you with a doctor, actually. If you could just give me your email, off air or something like that. Give somebody your email, and I'll get you a doctor for your mother.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll send you an email through Facebook.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you guys for all you're doing.
See ya. See, I didn't hang up on him. I was nice. I usually hang up on people. I didn't do it. We're turning over a leaf, a new pot leaf.
You're starting to bloom, Lefty. You're starting to bloom. The bud is blooming you.
Can you please just keep that on the floor, please? Wherever. Yeah, thank you. We've had horrible disasters already today with the seltzer bottle all over my brand new mixer. I was like, oh, really? Starting off on the wrong foot. I get it. It can only get better. So Aubrey, what is your story? You have a shirt on that says, "Be like Jake." What is Jake? Who is Jake, and what is that all about?
So Jake he was our youngest patient in the New Jersey medical marijuana program for a while. Unfortunately, we lost Jake in January when he couldn't fight his brain tumor anymore. But I actually want to speak a little bit about an upcoming fundraiser that'll be done to study Jake's tumor. His parents actually really selflessly donated his tumor, his brain, and his spine to international research to help children in the future. And they did that because when Jake was really sick, there was a lot of European studies that the American doctors said they really didn't care about, basically because they don't recognize European medical studies. So going forward now, his parents are working.
Mike and Janet.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike and Janet, my boy Tank.
Yep. They're really doing amazing things, raising money for so that kids in the future won't ever have to suffer with what Jake suffered with. Right now, actually, they donated his tumor, so it's in the brain of a couple rats in labs and being studied. They're going to try to track it and do things like that. Now, all of that research will be available internationally, and there'll be a fundraiser coming up in a few weeks. I'll send it to everyone for T-shirts, and 100% of the proceeds will go to funding research on Jake's tumor, not just some general fundraising for a hospital or an organization. It is specifically to research Jake's tumor. It'll be studied for months, if not years, and hopefully we can, save the next kid that won't have to suffer the way Jake did.
Do you know what your fundraising goal is going to be?
I don't know that yet. this is like really brand new. It's gonna be up soon in the next month or so. I don't know the goal yet, but I am waiting on an email back actually from the research organization over that on how much exactly the goal will be.
Cool. Sorry, I'm reading a text here. I'm engineering. I'm trying to do everything here. I got a million things going on. See, I got to deal with that too. So.
Yeah, he's doing.
I got a lot of stuff going on here. Sorry.
I get it. That's
But you could talk about Jake all day with me. That poor kid.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I met.
Tank, you talking about?
Yeah, I met with his parents Monday night, and they really just are amazing people. I don't know as a parent that I would be able to be at a press conference just days after I lost my son.
Yep.
And the fact that they weren't just there, they are advancing bills in the government, and really making it a point to not let the loss of Jake be for nothing. They really want to change things for kids and adults that are going to be, coming into the program, or maybe not even coming into the program, but have the same type of cancer. They just want to save the next person.
Just to piggyback off of what she was saying, like, I got to be in the back room with them, and to, the way that they were able to still be engaged in light of, Jake passing, Sunday? It was the Sunday before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and they were, as a parent, your heart, the things that scare the hell out of you, and for them, they were literally days in the midst of the most tragic thing that could ever happen to a parent happening to them. And, I always tell people, most of us advocates who got into this, we got into this because either something happened to us or somebody we love. And that's a whole nother kind of motivation. It's one of those kinds, that's the kind of motivation that can't be bought,
It's called passion.
Yeah, it's
coming from God.
Yeah, it's a different story, and I always tell people, I'm not, if you and I were related and you were in the hospital and something happened to you, I'm the one that's going to be fighting raising hell on your behalf. Until
You felt
can
the
speak
same
for
pain.
yourself. Yeah, and so looking and talking to them, and the good thing was that at a certain point, we were able to, at least start getting some laughs and talking. And when Governor Murphy and his wife Tammy came in, it wasn't like a, hey, how you doing? And they kept moving. Nah, they like we were literally in the back having a bit of a hoot, and it was needed. They showed us the video. They showed us a video of Jake that he had made like a couple of days before he died. It was some random video, and in the video he started off with, "Good day, Governor," and not knowing that his parents were going to be actually meeting with the governor, just days after he had passed. So it was wild, man. I mean, that day, when we did the executive order, that day was like you look down at them and you can draw strength from them. And then even having Beth Stavola, you know what I'm saying? Like Beth is, you know what I'm saying? Like she was like, one of the people who helped put together the fact-finding trip when we went to Vegas with the elected officials and stuff. Homegirl is really doing the thing. You see what I'm saying? And it's real. This is real. And again, there's certain types of motivations that you just can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't reason with, well, not reason with, but you can't just buy off or anything like that. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
The time. Go ahead.
I actually said to Lefty, when I was on the phone with you before, that I know exactly how you guys started without even knowing any of you, because it's the same way I started. That you just see too much, either injustice or just something that you can't hold it in anymore. You see too much and you just want to know who's responsible for that. Who can I talk to? What do I have to do to change it?
Right.
So for kids like Jake to be happy, like, hello, governor.
Yeah.
For 10 days a month, because he only gets 2 ounces.
Yeah.
That can be made into oil. And then see him be that other version of himself when he had to be on opiates and things like that for the rest of the month. That is enough motivation to say, who's responsible? I want to talk to you. I'm not going to take no for an answer. And it's going to change. It's going to change as long as I'm here. and nobody should have to suffer like Jake did, no, especially a child. No human though should have to suffer that way.
Right. And the thing is that when you look at the manner in which Governor Murphy is expanding the medical marijuana program, so now you can get 4 ounces for those of us who don't consume by smoking.
And that's what that fundraiser is all about, to get research on how cannabis could avoid this for other children in the future, for other people who suffer. And how does it feel to be an advocate flying by the seat of your pants with all these super powerful people, having the governor next to you, and we're kind of like we're common people, you know?
I'm trying to learn from Leo, so.
look, hey, and I'm still learning. Hey, I'll say this: the humbling part about it all is that we all knew each other before we became this and what we're going to be. We all knew each other before all that, and so.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, and when you think of and so to see where we are, all of us, I was in Denver a couple of months ago, right? Mm-hmm. And a reporter, I was there for the Women Grow Leadership event, right? Mm-hmm. And so this reporter walks up, we're talking, and she interviews me, and she interviews a whole bunch of people, and then she says to me, she says, "You know what, Leo? I really didn't know you guys were doing it as big as you were doing it on the East Coast." And I said, yeah, because I was, I'm on that Jeff Sessions lawsuit. I'm one of the plaintiffs for that.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And she's,
you're going to be the reason why that little guy gets fired.
I hope so. And
well, I lost more weight than he weighs. I'm sure Donald Trump's going to fire his ass soon.
Well, but here's the thing. So we're I'm saying, so I said to her, I said, well, yeah, look, I said, and there's Ronnie Soto and Jake Plowden and Nelson Guerrera, and Gia was walking by as I'm making my point, and Hope Weissman is standing there talking to somebody else.
You're keeping your composure too.
But that's the thing, like I told her, I said, you see all those people right there? And she said, yeah. I said, okay. When they come to my house, they fix their own drinks. And she was like, and I said, you know how when you go to a person's house after the 3rd visit, you fix your own stuff? Like I don't have to get up and fix it for you. You know where it is. I said, all of those people, that's where we are right now. And the reason being is because we all for real know each other. We've been putting in this role, all this footwork, Lefty and Jim and Ken and Wayne, look at us. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been.
I know I'm an odd addition to this crowd here. It's just, how does it feel to be on the lead here, being called a drug addict and pothead your whole life? And now we're proving that cannabis is a cure for addiction.
Well, it's what we kind of been talking about and predicting, that we're actually facilitating a cultural shift in how we view this plant. But
it's a flower bud, not a drug.
Now, because of that, you know what I'm saying, when you get into the activist side and you get into where we are right now, particularly as a state, what ends up happening is because we've been so immersed in the proverbial sandbox of the cannabis industry, we've also become acutely aware of how this industry looks on the business side. And the business side of this industry has a really dark, a black eye to it too. Oh, yeah. So as activists, you know what I'm saying,
we know that
we have to
we've been exploited by that edge.
Yeah, so we have to evolve along with it. Not say change, I'm just saying evolve. Because now as an activist and knowing the history of this industry, it's almost like it's a responsibility to be involved in that too. Mm-hmm. Because
I agree with that.
Because when you look at
because
especially when you look at how communities of color have been negatively impacted, and then also economically not impacted by this industry, even though we make up majority of the consumers or half of the consumers. So the thing is that where we are right now, we also have to talk about not just facilitating the cultural shift, but we're also facilitating a massive transfer of wealth. Mm-hmm.
We're also facilitating addiction recovery, and I think
that actually falls in line with the cultural shift, because culturally right now, traditionally, the way we treat opioid, the way we treat PTSD and all kinds of things is with opioids. So the cultural shift means that we move away from doing that, and we actually use this plant. And then on top of that, You know, we look at the many other aspects of this plant beyond a health impact. You know, look at hemp and all the things that can be done with hemp.
Sure.
And when you're talking about a state who has all types of budget deficits and issues and stuff like that, you know, we're not talking about taking money from one area and putting it to another. No, we're talking about brand new money. New Jersey is projected to be a 1.6 to $2.2 billion a year industry by 2020. We literally start off number 2 behind California right off the bat. You know, and then there's also another $950 million in the projected ancillary revenue. So those are the businesses that don't even touch the plant.
Not to mention the increase in productivity. The fact that we're going to be draining the drunks out of the bars and we're going to getting people back to work again.
Again, that's what I to my point earlier about the industries whose bottom line we directly affect.
Oh yeah,
pharmaceutical,
big alcohol,
don't like
us much,
and also prison industrial complex. They don't like we're affecting their bottom line.
Prison industrial complex don't like weed?
No, because
they're privately owned and they make money off it.
Yeah, so if we so if we're changing the laws,
how much does it cost to keep a weed crook in jail anyway a year?
It's 80,000, something like that, 80 to 100,000, something like that.
So we have flower dealers in jail, and we're spending $80,000 a year to keep a flower dealer in jail.
Yes.
So the guy that was selling the flower buds that could get us off drugs is in jail, but the big pharma guys are pushing pills.
The big pharma guys are wearing suits and ties.
Yes.
I know. They took all my money. And I'm going to get you back, you sons of bitches.
Yeah. And so
you didn't kill me. You tried to kill me with all your pills and stuff.
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
What we got to do is, I call it piss testing the system.
Yeah.
You know, we have to piss test the system
because
we
I
have to
was disabled on their cocktail of meds.
See.
And I'm thriving on their flower buds, and that they illegally hold people to. They're force feeding us pills the way the system is. And they're force feeding the rest of America pills, and they're force feeding the rest of America sugar, caffeine, fast food, liquor, everything else. Every time, as soon as we see this sober recovery, as soon as we see the broader recovery, it's going to take the wounded healers like us to help the addicts get over what they're going through. Big Pharma can't. Big Pharma is addicted to us, and that is just the ugly truth. They're addicted to us. And we had to break them and strip the bandage off nice and cleanly. And if they really want to save people with this opioid crisis, they have to let the people in the streets, the people that like us, the wounded healers, help the healers. Because the rehab can't do it for 28 days and then give somebody a joint and expect them to think they're going to be all right.
Well, this
it takes education, and people like us need to rise up from the ashes like we're doing. And tell the world that they don't have to tell their problems; they can recover as well, just following our lead.
Well, you know what? Like what we have, and this speaks to the state America. Period. Was what we're going through is a quality of leadership issue. We have a.
It just got a lot better with Phil Murphy, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, you know.
I didn't even want to tell my story because I thought Chris Christie would eat me.
Well, I mean,
so sweet.
Look, not only that, but you know what though? You see how this is trickling down in terms of from the assembly. I mean, when you see, when you see your elected officials taking, fact-finding trips, so that they can get the necessary information in order to make the most informed decision as the wind blows this tent away. As we look for. When we look to see our elected officials doing the work, it's different. I mean, when you see somebody actually working, I mean, they were teasing Phil Murphy about wearing his hat backwards, and I'm saying to myself, I don't care about him if that's what he need to do to work. Look,
get it done.
Don't say nothing, Phil. Work.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
we need him to work.
I like to remind, patients, I know that these changes are much too late. I know I've been with the patients that have been lost, a lot of them over the past year or two. I get it that it's too late. But 90 days ago, no one cared about you in the New Jersey government. And now you got somebody making moves. I get it that it's slow. I get it that it's too late. But somebody's making moves.
Yeah, this is not the time. Now, if you've checked out, come check back in again.
Yeah.
Now you can come check in.
People are listening now.
Let me say this to you. the biggest reason why we have a quality leadership issue when you don't have good people serving is because no one's going to put their neck on the line if you're not going to show up for them.
Right.
So we have a voting problem here in this state, particularly in the city of Trenton. Folks don't like to vote. So if you don't like, so why would I stick my neck out for you if you're not even willing to come and like?
I think we need to spread some sativa out there to get people off the couch lock and get out and vote.
You know what?
Or get out of the bars and start doing green stuff instead.
You know what? I think what they need is they need exposure. We need exposure to people like us. You know, those of us, because here's the thing: as people start to get engaged, you heard what Bill said. We're starting to see a influx of all these new groups, and you know, you're kind of wondering like, who are these people? Where'd
called
y'all come from?
cross-pollination, baby.
Yeah, you're like, where you come from? We got the New Jersey Cannabis Retailers Association. Like, what? Well, wait a minute.
You never expected your fertilizer to broom that, did you?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Where? And then when you look under the hood and you see who these people are, you're like, oh man, this is alcohol. You know, and so now that idea of, you know, education of the consumer has become even more paramount, because now folks need to know who they need to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's people like you and me now, I guess, who know how to use cannabis to break the addiction cycle, to actually thrive, not just get high, but to perform.
You know what?
That's where you're going to make a lot of money, young lady.
What?
Yeah, you.
No, when I had a guest speaking appearance with Lefty's tour, actually the question something that I put to both towns was, you know, I hear a lot about like, what about the kids? What about the kids of the town? And you know what?
Healthier kids.
I agree with that, because you know what? For my kids, for Leo's kids, for all our kids, I would much rather have a dispensary in the town
than a bar.
Than a bar or a Walgreens. And statistically, when you open a medical dispensary in a town, however many million doses of opiates are lessened.
A 25%. Where medical marijuana is legal, do you know that there's a 25% less overdose
So that
rate?
sounds good for my kids. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm good with that.
So why are we trying to sell Narcan when
Right.
you should sell a joint so they don't get on the goddamn opioids to begin with? That's the point.
Hello. Okay.
So, thank God.
Yeah, I feel very strongly about that. I mean, of course, nobody wants kids on drugs, period. But if you're making it safer, I don't see how we could turn away from that. It's
well, what
safer.
drugs do you want them on?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, and on top of that, you know, like.
And first of all, it's not a drug; it's flower pollen.
Here's the thing, you know, like what you have to recognize is, remember what I said. People are we're on season 8, episode 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
baby.
on
This
season
is a
1.
cliffhanger, huh?
Yeah. They're on season 1.
Yeah.
Episode 3. You know, and it's like, okay, we need you. Like, we're using. I had the iPhone 10. They're still using Sky Pagers. Like, come on. Like, I mean, like beepers. You know, like, come on. We need you to get caught up a little bit faster. You know, and the reason being is because we're working on a very short window of opportunity here. You know, we have a very, very short window of opportunity.
It's time to plant the seed.
Yeah, and especially when we're talking about, you know, maximizing the benefit from a financial standpoint that the state as a whole could use. We're talking about brand new money.
We're talking about new money and renewed money.
Yes, we're going to have to. We got to talk about, like I said, macro level thinking. We need a hemp and cannabis college of New Jersey. We got to start. We got to start. But I'm just saying, like,
I'm a Rutgers alum. I would suggest that Rutgers, Kane University, and Seton Hall, all 3 universities I'm an alum, should do that.
Listen, whoever does it, at the end of the day, it's still just look. It needs to be done. These are the type of things that we have to seriously consider. You know, we got to start getting the infrastructure prepared so that when this falls on a federal standpoint, I don't think you'll be able to be president of the United States without being for this.
Donald Trump is going to turn this leaf.
I think so too.
And he's going to green up America, make America green
I think
again.
so too. I think so too. Yeah.
So,
no. I'm
get
just saying
off drugs with God's flower buds and make America green again.
I think that it will. I think that it will. Oh, that's right. Because you.
Donald Trump knows that DuPont branded weed a drug, so he could sell his goddamn plastic and chemicals.
Donald Trump is
Donald
all
Trump,
about the dollar bills,
he's
y'all.
a visionary that will
You got
turn
Boehner, Boner,
All right,
Boner,
all
Boehner,
right,
whatever you want to call him. He's
Boehner.
all about the legal cannabis
See how
now.
peaceful
I told you, if you showed
cannabis
these
patients
rich
can
old white
disagree
people,
nicely.
okay, the money in it, then they're in it. That's all you got to do.
Because Lefty, didn't he hang up on me?
No, I never hang up. That's Lefty.
Wait a minute.
Did he
Y'all
say,
called
hey,
me-
I have a question for
Wait a
you?
minute, no, wait. Didn't y'all call me and I started saying something about Donald Trump and you hung up on me?
Not me, bro.
Wait, who was that?
Look at this
Lefty, who
peaceful
was that?
disagreement right
I-
now
no,
between
this ain't a
medical
disagreement.
cannabis users. Look how nice
We
it
are
is.
agreeing about
Can you imagine if
Donald
we were
Trump.
drinking?
Yeah. Here's the thing. You know, when you look at the New Jersey medical marijuana expansion that the governor signed for the expansion of the MMP, you know what I'm saying? How you doing, brother? We have to go from 18,000 patients to 270.
You're
We
gonna,
will.
you're gonna
We
have
got-
half
we
a
will.
million
Yeah,
before
we
you
will.
know it.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it'll be
We
half
will.
a million.
Anxiety, chronic pain,
so
Tourette's, migraines, they're on there, bro.
Oh,
So,
by the way,
we
does
will.
everybody,
What's
does
up,
everybody
man?
know out there that weed leads to weight loss? That I've lost 175 pounds. There's a beautiful woman over there that lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Looking very sexy
Why do you
over
think they
there.
make fun of us big guys?
And
Yeah,
you know,
that's
it's
not right.
also
He's the cannabis king. Look at him.
well.
Look,
I'm losing
He
weight.
likes to eat
I've lost
shit, too.
75 pounds.
Look,
Oh, there you go.
Did you?
See?
Yes.
Lost 75
All I'm
fucking
gonna say
pounds.
is that you notice how me and you are the only warm ones up here, right?
Yeah, everyone else is crying.
Well, that's because you're eating the pizza along with the cookies and shit. So,
Keep crying. Keep crying.
but you know, you
It's
can use-
cold. It's cold.
That's just it. That's the power of the cannabis carrot. You can change your behavior by giving yourself
Yes.
a cannabis carrot, and that's the way to beat the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
You need something for people to use, and it's God's flower buds, not a drug.
Yeah.
They branded it a drug, a regular flower bud, a drug, to sell us drugs. We, as advocates, know you guys are getting screwed. And the rest of New Jersey could green up quite nicely. The faster we get this thing out there, the faster we make it retail and recreational. It means that people that don't have to be honest about their problems can get some help.
Broadcasting is Lefty.
And we got to grow a lot of weed.
Broadcasting.
Unfortunately, New Jersey used to be the garden state, and it became a chemical state.
Hold on. What's that?
Are you live?
Why?
We're live.
So I can share.
Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Really?
I'm asking you. So I can
Was that cross
Are we really?
Yeah, and we're
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to be talking. If you don't have a mic, you don't even have a mic. Shut up. Go ahead. Keep going. Holy crap.
I thought we were off the air.
No, we're.
Oh, we're off the air.
I'm
I'm sorry.
trying
I'm freaking me out. Sorry. I'm sorry.
How many cookies did you have?
Dude, when I hear, are you on the air or are you broadcasting? It scares me because it makes me.
Speaking of cookies, if anyone has quarters, I could use some quarters. I got to feed the machine. Plus, you'll get
We
me
got
out
some.
of here.
We got some.
So
Are
anyway,
they?
Well, if there's any,
Well, I'm
like,
a homeless guy. I can go
mayor-
ask for some quarters on the street corner over there.
you said you're homeless, right?
That's hardcore.
You
Yeah,
got.
kind of. I have a friend, but I need a better situation.
I'm gonna take the quarters from the homeless guy. That's how I don't care.
You're pretty, well, you've been very generous. So
Oh, don't tell nobody. Hey, thanks. You're the man. You're the man. Here, Lefty.
see, I didn't have to
Take control of this.
Thank you, sir. Hey guys, don't stand in front of that speaker, please. There you go. Thank you.
if there's any like
Thank you.
senators or constituents that are listening and they want to see how a dispensary is not like Cheech and Chong looking, I invite all of them to contact Lefty and he will get in touch with me, and I'd love to set up something for you to attend the dispensary in Cranberry and get a tour.
Oh, at Breakwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I worked there.
You know, Cheech and Chong's a lot
yeah?
better than Lester
Yeah,
Molester
yeah.
in
I'm
the bar.
on their medical
Margie
review
and
board.
really Margie and
Yeah.
Andrew and all them. Yeah,
Oh,
they're my people.
That's my BFFs.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They actually, when we were doing PTSD, when we were, going. That's when I was working at Breakwater. Remember that, Lefty?
Yes. Oh yeah.
You know, so they were there in the beginning too.
You know what, though? I have to say, Breakwater
Uh-huh.
has given me the platform to get my story out there. they have backed me, and I don't work for them or anything like that. I'm on their medical advisory board only to represent patient interest, so I can't have a financial interest in anything.
Right.
But they are to thank for every single person that I can reach, every town I can reach through Lefty, anyone that I can
Elvin
reach.
Montero, councilman at large. Elvin, when you get a chance, come back and sit down. We're going to talk. He's running for city council.
Don't run away, councilman.
Yeah, good dude, good dude.
Nice.
We have known each other since the first grade.
Oh,
No
wow,
shit.
that's cool.
We have known each other since the first
And you're still
grade.
playing in the same schoolyard.
Yeah, you know what? I just came back here a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago, but I was gone for 22. And so, you know, like there aren't very many people that I could, you know, when I look at them, I know exactly who they are. Elvin, we attended the same Catholic school.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's good.
Yeah, we were in Catholic. Like he actually put it like this: if Elvin wanted to see me get in trouble, he'd know exactly who to call to see me get a spanking. Yeah, you know how you know your schoolmates, brothers and sisters, and their parents and stuff. Yeah, Elvin knows everybody.
You know everybody.
But I'm proud of him. I'm happy to see him do the same thing that I'm doing. He came home. He came back to Trenton, you know, and didn't like what he was seeing and decided to, you know, damn it, I'm going to do something about this, you know. And he actually is taking that leap to do it, you know. Him and Reed, to be honest with you, you know, both of them. So very proud of him, you know. But going back to my earlier point with Breakwater and everything, you know, they when we were, you know, really hitting the ground hard on getting post-traumatic stress disorder added to the MMP. When I was working at Breakwater, and they were very, 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 very accommodating. You know, they were and encouraging. You know, and anything, you know.
So you guys agree they're probably the best treatment center in the state?
I'm going to say that they are, I know for a fact that is a grassroots family company that started because they wanted to help patients.
Ah,
So,
I love that.
To me, that's all I need to hear. I back that. I will give that my money all day.
And but I will say this: if you really want to see the future, go to Harmony.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited for Harmony.
Where's Harmony?
Listen, I love
Caucus,
Breakwater is
Harmony
my
Foundations,
family,
but
every-
Harmony Foundations,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the. If you want to see STEAM or STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math,
No shit, right?
Yeah,
you need to you need to go to Harmony. It's like
I like to work for people like that.
Yeah, it's like straight up Epcot Center up in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
really is.
Yeah, I mean they got the stuff that's automatic, the
Yeah.
robot. Yeah,
It's all,
like I swear to God, man.
It's fully automated.
Yes,
everything.
yes, and they like it's the.
I gotta get over there.
I think solar too, right?
Yeah.
I need a
literally
new medical
the future.
marijuana doctor. I need a budget
Look,
to be able to go there, though.
all I can say is this is just an opinion coming straight from my eyes. What I saw, you know, I was like, okay, as a patient, I want my medicine to come from here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
dang,
I'm
I mean,
excited to see what they have, and I always say, like, no matter, I say it to all patients, no matter where you find the strain that works for you, you should go to every dispensary and try every
Yep.
strain and find what works
Yep.
for you. I don't care
Yep.
if it's at Breakwater or CS or anywhere else. I don't care. Go get it and get your medicine.
Yep.
But Harmony is really the first one to be doing it the way they're doing it, and
Like an
I'm
Apple
super
store?
excited.
Yeah, like a-
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I mean like it's like she said, like the freaking tables move
Yeah.
and they go into holes in the wall and then they go here and it's like Epcot Center.
I expect huge things from Harmony, and I cannot wait to
Yeah.
see what they put out. I really
Yeah,
do.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I
You know, cannabis is the iPhone of the intoxicants. And
Well,
that's just what it's
there
all
you go.
yes,
about.
yep.
Because
Yep.
it doesn't harm the body, it heals the body.
Yep. But-
And since, you know, we're going to be able to sell it and hack our personalities with cannabis.
Yeah.
And people don't really realize that. We know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But the rest of the world doesn't know how we can tune ourselves up with this stuff. And it seems like Harmony kind of got the thing there. 'Cause I could see this being, I was going to make an application that can modulate moods.
Okay.
Based on personality types.
Okay.
Sativa strains and indica strains. Because we're really just balancing the two brains that we have in our body, the head brain and the body brain. And that's what's going on with cannabis. It
Well,
is
see,
the iPhone
you're
of
in
the
season
intoxicants.
you're in season 8, episode 3. You see what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah,
Like we're like now we have to start talking the science behind things. Like when you look at companies like Harvest 360, you know, they're into the science of it all in terms of getting the help, getting it into the folks that really need that can actually benefit from the practical application.
You can target
of
specific symptoms with
yes,
specific
yes.
strains, unlike any
Yes.
other psych med out there, because people self-medicate on this. And
Right.
They can feel it.
Right.
Immediately, and then they can go, this is not working, and an hour
Right.
later, try something else.
Right. Well, see, the thing is that you have to also take into account that from a patient perspective and how the who, the why, the when, the where, and when you have certain companies who are looking at it from that angle and developing, this is what we need. This is exactly what we need in order to start progressing and moving this industry forward, particularly as it plays out in New Jersey. Because remember, I said we're going to be the new standard. You got to move it forward.
So talking about your example of we're on chapter, what was it?
Season 8. Season 8, episode 3.
2.
Where you
Three's
and
wrong,
I,
3
where
now?
you,
All right, cool.
where you and I are having discussions about which terpenes we like the best and which ones are better for things. We're there back on season 1 going, there's a sativa and
Yeah.
there's an indica.
Yeah.
What? No, usually I just smoke the loud. And I'm going,
Yeah.
okay, let's start.
Spoiler alert, it's not
fresh.
a gateway drug.
Okay, so it's not
The gateway from drugs, baby.
We're on an education season where we are starting to look at the more chemical stuff that you're talking about, the terpenes, the oils, the chemistry behind it, which particular strains and which particular things work for which diseases, which people have allergies and shouldn't be smoking which strains because they're based on things that they're allergic to.
I don't know.
And all kinds of things.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. That's
Never
what
heard of those terpenes.
Oh, of
and
course I
myrrh
have,
stuff?
but there's not a lot of research on it.
That's the thing is that's the next level of research that's coming out.
Season 8.
Season 8,
Remember
where everybody else
STEM.
is season 1. We're back to, well, there's candy. Which one do you want right now? The indica or the sativa? And they're like, well, I like the good one. Or the medicinal.
hybrid,
I want the
you know what I'm saying?
medicinal, and then I'll pull out the Charlotte's Web because that's, to me, the most medicinal thing that's going. And they'll be like, no, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, you mix that with a little GG4 and bam!
But the terminology where people are like, well, it's the medicinal, thinking it's the most THC, where medicinal for all different patients is all levels of THC and all different kinds of strains and all different kinds of terpenes, and then there's so much individual choice and so much individual doctoring for each different thing that might go on for each different person according to their allergies or their taste.
Right.
Or this
These
or
are all.
that.
That's where the education of the consumer again becomes paramount, because most cannabis consumers know how many pulls off of a joint it takes before they actually feel it. Right. True. What I'm talking about is that folks need to learn how their bodies absorb. There's the endocannabinoid system, CBD. Folks need to know how their bodies,
They
edibles.
need to feel how their bodies
like you said, terpenes, edibles, distillates. All of these things. Even wax and dabbing and all. There are so many different delivery platforms that can be utilized. But the thing is that when you're talking to, especially the old guard. When you talk to them about cannabis legalization, the first thing that pops in their head is the Cheech and Chong. That's what they think, and so it's like cultural shift, facilitating a cultural shift. That's exactly what we're talking about doing.
We're talking about
right
a
now.
cultural healing. We're
Yes.
talking about bringing people
We
together
know that.
instead of beating them up in the bars.
What's up, man? Yeah, we know that. Yes, we know that. But again, you have to recognize that. What's frustrating is that we are so far more advanced in this conversation, and we have to. It's going to require a certain level of patience on our part
to slow down,
just to get folks brought up, because you know, it's like, okay, you know, you're not too late. You're late to the conversation. You're not too late.
But
At least
you do have to fight a little bit about the people who go, yeah, I know all about
That's
cannabis.
okay.
I
To the
smoked
left,
it
to the
for,
left.
for a long time, and they're like really
To the left.
aren't
to the
educated.
left.
They're just have used it,
Right.
but it was whatever strain was around or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So they're like, well, it wasn't for me. And I'm like, oh, well, did you prefer the indicas or the sativas? What were you using it for? And they're like,
Well, you live in a different state. How are the Delaware dispensaries?
We have one.
Just one, that's it? I thought you had more. Terrible.
Yes,
That's
it-
terrible.
the lawmakers decided that for the first one, the test one, it would behoove them to give the contract to an ex-police officer.
Yep.
So that we are wanted, searched,
Yeah.
and treated like criminals, but that we are provided with some medicines.
Got a
And we
Republican
have
governor?
a whole variety. Well, Delaware's a funny little state like that. We have split tickets, so. And it's been like that since 2011. We're supposedly going to get more dispensaries this year, but we're way behind you guys as far as the adult use.
Well,
the tax
You have edibles, though, right?
They
Concentrates, too.
They give us concentrates. I bake cookies with them, cooking hash that I got from there. They have some wonderful tinctures. We can get vape pen cartridges and all that, the wonderful stuff. But we do only have the one. It is a monopoly system. And unfortunately,
State run.
Well, we were taught. Well, no, it's contracted like everything else, but there was only the one.
Contracted by the state.
Yes.
Normally, it's the highest bidder gets that.
Well, they decided.
It's supposed to be the lowest, but
They decided because of security and making sure that the illegal substances are handled correctly, that the state officer would be the best one, knowing because he's dealt with criminals before.
Terrible.
I want to say thank you for what we do have. I mean, it could be a long way to go. And
You're telling me they thought that a cop was the best to serve patients?
Yes.
An ex-cop is the best person to serve medicine to patients.
Yes.
I'm confused on that.
And yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. I thought I heard wrong.
No,
it's like a monopoly. It's like if you're not arresting them,
he
you're supplying them.
Right, he went directly.
Beautiful thing.
Yes.
Delaware.
It does seem like the politicians that kept a gate on these flower buds are starting to get into the business before the rest of us can get into the business. And Senator Boehner, congratulations for joining the industry, but it would be nice if you didn't keep the gate locked while everybody else was trying to get in.
Well, the delaying tactics so that the big business can get in and making businesses so it's corporate friendly,
that's gonna
acreage friendly.
But it's very important, like Leo says all the time too. I mean, who are they serving? I mean, women, are they involved in the industry? Minorities, are they involved in the industry?
I want to get to know the women in the industry. I'll tell
And
you
I
that.
know you do.
Yeah.
My biggest thing too is like these.
I know, that's why he's here.
When you have choices, okay, you have dispensaries you can go to. If my thing is, okay, Blue Dream worked for me, Blue Dreams always work for me. So don't make me come in and get cheese.
Right.
Don't come make me, because I want the dream, I don't want the cheese, because this is what works for me.
Right.
So why am I forced to get your particular strain of this and that, because this is what I want? So why should I have grow rights, or at least have access to people who can grow my particular strain? And until then we have to do something different. It's not
Right. Well, access to, first of all, an increase on the amount, the monthly amount, because a lot of people don't smoke. They actually make oils and tinctures and
concentrates and need a larger amount of cannabis to do that.
And then
right.
number two, opening up so that individual dispensaries can also sell all of their strains in oil form.
Right, so they can use
so
all
now,
their
so now
plant.
They can do oil form in every single strain that they have, rather than it being just certain ones. And then the other thing too is they killed the registry for doctors, so now doctors don't have to be in some sort of a registry in order to recommend for the medical marijuana program. And if you are a senior or a veteran, it only costs you $20 to enroll. So
You guys make me want to move to Jersey. Almost want to move to Jersey. I know.
She said almost.
I'm sorry. I'm over in Delaware, but you know, it's awful tempting when you put things like this on the table. You know what? My vacation may change from one ocean city to another.
Hey, you know what, though? Here's the thing, though. They're also talking reciprocity. So that you know, MMP patients from Delaware, New York, and Pennsylvania can also come to the state too, you know. And so when we talk about, you know, the shoring up of the New Jersey MMP, we have a very mighty endeavor to take on.
I just read yesterday that Pennsylvania, who legalized medicinally but concentrates
For flower,
first, now they're going back and saying we need to also legalize flower.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, you know what? That's backwards, but good for them.
Right.
Do it,
Right,
man,
right.
in all forms.
Right.
You know,
Right.
get it out there to the sick and the dying.
And
That's
New York,
needed right now.
New York's doing the same thing. New York
Yeah.
is also fast track. Now here's what's essentially happening, okay? And Lefty, you and I have had, you know, conversations about this, on, you know, all throughout, you know, with us doing this. What New Jersey is doing is essentially we're fast tracking this conversation for states like Pennsylvania and New York, because there's no way, especially New York, there's no way New York is going to allow Jersey to get all that
Right.
money.
Yep.
Regardless of what they do with their medical marijuana program, we're talking this train has left the building. And so what we ought to be doing right now is that we need to be having meaningful and productive conversations regarding how we as a state move forward in this industry, so that we can put out the best, most inclusive, and the new standard as far as the industry is concerned. You know, we don't have to subscribe to a lot of the stuff that we've already seen that doesn't work.
That's right, and I think that's the advantage of being. We are behind and we're late, right?
Right.
But you know what? We use that time and we
Look
learn
at what we did.
from
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Look at where
And
we at now.
there's no
Yeah.
reason why New Jersey cannot be the new gold standard.
Yes.
In marijuana, there's no reason why we can't. We're the Garden State. Come on.
Right. I mean,
you guys will have all the confidence. You guys are going to be doing it.
Do
and
you
then-
need us to come to Delaware? 'Cause
Oh,
we will.
we definitely. Well, first take care of your. But I'm saying, like my friend Adam Eidinger in D.C., he took care of D.C. He got D.C. legalized. Did you see what he did last week? He moved to Maryland so he could get all the Republican anti-cannabis people out and legalize Maryland. He literally changed addresses. Not that it's far from D.C. to Maryland, but you got Maryland now with a bigger activist coming in there and changing. What I'm saying to you people, you are pushing way ahead of anything that's going on in Delaware. I love you for it, because you're going to these town halls, you're making yourself a presence, you're being there, and you're changing hearts and minds. So when you finish this, we'd love you to come down and visit us.
yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
look.
but no, but don't
this
you
is,
know, you got a
it's not.
backyard
It's,
to deal with first. you
yeah,
know
it's
what I'm
not. It's
saying?
not. It's all about the mission. I mean,
Right.
you know, guys like Lefty and Jim, especially Lefty, when you see the sweat equity, that's what I call it, the sweat equity. When you see him doing all this stuff, you know, this is the groundwork that needs to be done.
Well, here we go, Leo. Thank you. But I have a special guest here. She's a patient from South Jersey, right, Marie? Now get right up on that mic. Put that mic. Help her out there, will you?
Gotta get up on that, for real.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Get right up on it. And all right, you're a patient from. Well, you could say where you're from, but welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What happened to you? How did you become a cannabis patient?
I was about 14 years ago. I was implanted with a medical device, and it ripped through. I'm sorry. It ripped through all of my organs, and it gave me nerve damage, bone damage. My muscles were ripped through. I had to have a few things removed.
Oh, wow.
And it cost me 2 surgeries that almost cost my life. So, yeah, I get to be a patient.
Oh, my God.
So is the cannabis helping, like, with your eating, I would imagine, digestion and pain?
Before cannabis, I was 236 pounds, and I was bedridden. I hadn't gone out of the house on my own in about 3 years.
Wow.
Most days I barely made it to the bathroom on my own. Just went literally from my bed to the bathroom, back to my bed again. That was my day.
Wow.
And they had you on all kinds of meds for that?
I was taking over 50 pills a day.
50 pills a day.
And I was still in pain, and I was still in the emergency room multiple times a month because I didn't know which pill was safe to take next because I had already taken everything. And so I would go to the emergency room because, you know, what do you take then without hurting yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got treated like a drug addict because of that.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
And you weren't really a cannabis user before this. You really didn't smoke pot or nothing.
No, not really, no.
No. Wow.
And when I first started smoking pot, I threw up a lot. It made me sick. I couldn't get my dose right. And eventually I figured it out. And I started reducing my opioids and my benzos and everything. And as I came off my medicine, the cannabis stopped making me puke. So now the only thing I take is cannabis.
That's it. You're off all the pills.
All the pills, including my thyroid pill and my diabetes medicine.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Join the club.
An example of why the big pharma doesn't want you to try cannabis. 50 pills to cannabis. That's why they don't want you to quit and why they're pushing so hard. And God bless, you are a miracle. Look how beautiful you are.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long road.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the new world. You know, one day I had someone say to me, you know, I was talking about being in the New Jersey medical marijuana program, and I was talking about all the benefits and stuff like that, and you know, and we were talking Kuma, and she said, "Dad, Leo, you so lucky," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, you lucky. You get to smoke weed and blah 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 blah, and nobody's gonna bother you." And I looked at her and I'm like, "Wait a minute, you think that this is luck that I have to have this? Like." I tell you what, you can here. You can have this, and I'll give this. I don't want to have to need to use this. Like I don't want to have like this ain't some luck shot. This is, you know, like yo. Do you know what I have been through? Do you know what the people I know have been through? And you call it luck? See, that let me know the degree in which the education that we have to have is going to, you know, take place, you know. So it's interesting. It's I you know, and thank you for everything you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're out here talking
yeah. Like what you're doing is trust me. There's someone who's going to hear this and see this, and it's going to be like you're talking to them, you know. So that thank you is for them, you know, because what you have to realize is that the reason why you're going through this is probably because you're supposed to help somebody, and whoever this person is that you're supposed to help, they haven't revealed themselves to you yet. You haven't come across them, and the reason why you haven't come across them is because you have to go through this right now. You got to go through this because when the time comes for you to help that person, the only person who will be able to help them is someone who has some credibility, who's been through it. That's the only way they're going to be able to somebody's going to be able to get through them. And your story and your journey is exactly what whoever this person or persons will need to hear. You know, I get it. You know, it sucks being in this situation. You know,
I'm actually pretty happy with it.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Oh, no, I'm talking about it sucks going through the pain and all that, and you know, like that's the part that sucks. But the thing is that those are the things that you need. You know, you need to go through all of this stuff because you're going to have to draw on these experiences in order to help somebody. That's all this is. Yeah. It's really about help, you know, and it's really about changing the perceptions. You know, folks got to start coming out of the closet. You know what I'm saying? We got to come out of the closet about how it is that we consume cannabis. We have to educate, you know, communities of color. We have to educate. You know, we have to get, you know, women or more involved. Women veterans at that. You know, more veterans such as myself. You know, we have to bring order to the chaos that is this industry, and also educate folks in this building here so that they can make the most informed decisions. But when you're still saying gateway drug, I automatically know how much more I know than you, because that we don't even talk that way no more. That was season 3, episode 7.
Oh my goodness! I went to an unfortunate meeting in Delaware, and I won't mention the group, but I talked to a gentleman who said he just came back from Colorado and definitely went to a meeting of the police officers, and they're still trying to figure out how to identify cannabis users because he swore the incident of accidents had gone up, and I don't see how. Are you okay? But we're still having that they're scared of. How do you identify a pot smoker? Well, if they're driving erratically, then you pull them over just like everybody else. It's pretty standard, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're driving safely, then you don't really need to identify them because they're doing a good job. Sometimes some people drive better. They're not all panicky and anxious and nervous and worried about stuff.
I'm not gonna endorse because it's still
a medicine. No, I do know people with high anxiety who literally can't function, can't get out of the house, can't go do that stuff. And if they're allowed to go take any opioid, Valium, whatever kind of pill you're going to get, and allowed to get behind the wheel, then they should be allowed to medicate and get behind the wheel because it's a medicine, okay? They have to have it. It's something that needs to happen so they can drive. And I'm tired of there being a stigma to that because there isn't as much of a stigma on any of the psychiatric medications that are out there. There's only a very few that'll even get you even on any kind of notice, right?
Well, see, the thing is that when you look at here in New Jersey, that's a huge sticking point here. And folks are like, I remember I testified in the Assembly Oversight Committee. And the first thing that everyone brought up was, well, they talk as if by legalizing cannabis, all of a sudden you're going to have all of these drivers on the road who people are just going to decide that they can drive because they can, that you can, consume cannabis. And so I was like, I don't think that's the way it works. Most cannabis consumers are not going to be, first of all, they're not going to advertise that they're, consuming and operating a motor vehicle. That's number one. That's because at the end of the day, you're still driving under the influence, and so, and when you look at and when you listen to groups like SAM and they're quoting misinterpreted or misinformed statistics about the uptick in the number of motor vehicle crashes and stuff like that. And so when you're talking about a legislative body who was brand new to this conversation,
right,
what you're saying, as right as you may be, that's season 7, episode 6. We're talking folks who are on season 1. That's a very scary. So, like I said, as right as you may be, that's a very scary thought process.
I'm confused.
Well, the very thing of, okay, so how do we tell if they're impaired? Well, first of all, was there an accident and who was at fault? Did they get run into, because they were being cautious?
Was alcohol involved?
Was alcohol involved on the other, other things?
Right.
There's, first of all, not how do you tell if somebody's impaired? Well, they're just driving along fine. You don't need to have any extra warning signs, Mr. Officer.
Can they tell you the suicide rates go up in those states, too, where it's legal? Yeah, but so do the birth rates, too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone that's killing themselves, there's like 10 kids
their
born.
replacement is coming,
Bam.
Now, here's the thing. When you know how we have these towns who are banning sales of cannabis before there's even cannabis to be sold. Yep. And so when those particular towns, whenever they do that, one of the first things that they cite is the uptick in DUIs and also emergency room visits. Now, I found out that the uptick in emergency room visits is true. It is actually true.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. You know why? You know what I found out?
Edibles?
Yes, and it's
because you gotta eat the whole candy bar.
Because people, and then you know what? Wait, and then a friend of mine who's on the who's also a member of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. He's a emergency room nurse, and he told me he said you know what we do? for those people when they come in, I said, no, what do you do? He said, we test them to see if there's anything else in their system other than cannabis. And if the only thing that they test positive for is cannabis, he said, we send them home. And I said, what? He said we tell them, ride the wave, submit to the high, but you can need to go home.
So this
and then
is,
they send them home.
They tell you to hydrate yourself and eat.
Yeah,
Season
drink water.
8
Yeah.
education process. Season 8 education process is know your dosage and start low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Start low. Take it easy. Don't go for the whole 100. You have to take nibbles at this stuff.
Yep.
Okay. It's not brain surgery, people. Just a little education. Take it slow. Know your dosage. Enjoy. And just find a friend or a teddy bear. You'll be good. With some water and you'll be fine.
Eat and take a nap.
That's it.
From the patient says eat and take a nap. That
There you
helps.
go.
There you go.
Success story.
Yay.
You got a success story right here.
And
can
apparently
be
we
done.
heard it from a doctor.
Yeah. So this is you out?
Authentic medical advice. Right.
We'll be talking.
It's okay, people. Just watch your edibles. Don't take too many.
Right,
and
right,
you'll be
right.
okay. Go slow.
Leo, question.
Yes, sir.
2 words. Senator Rice.
Ooh.
Aroni.
What are we going to do? This guy, he says he's on a fact-finding mission. The last 2 meetings had the same 5 speakers that they flew in from Sam and from Ramp, Kevin Smith. Why don't they let Hugh from the UFCW speak? He's trying to speak and they won't let him. What's going on with this thing?
So, and this is just me being, polite and respectful to Senator Ron Rice and his, however many years of service in the state. Yeah. I think that because I actually had an opportunity to talk to him too, and at the last one and at the last
really,
yeah, I talked to him.
Honorable Ron Rice.
Yep, I talked to him after the Black Caucus hearing in Elizabeth, and I asked we were listening because what he did was every time anyone spoke in favor of, after that person finished their testimony, at that point they no longer speak. It's all of them, right? What Ron Rice would do is he would give about a 2-3 minute rebuttal to everything. And the thing is that I remember sitting there. Yeah, I remember
ex-officer Ron Rice. We're talking to, right?
And he had a rebuttal for everything.
Officer,
and he kept pushing. He kept pushing the idea of which he's right. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow their money. Okay, if you follow Sam's money, you see where it ends up at. You understand what I'm saying?
Kennedy's involved. Come on.
And these are the people who are, when you listen to their name, smart approaches to marijuana.
Like
Sam,
they're for it.
Yeah, like it's so. It's like they.
We want marijuana. We
it's
just
misleading.
Want to approach it.
Yeah, we want to approach it in a way.
way.
Yeah, and then come to find out what they're really saying is no altogether. And then you also have folks who are. You have some of these dispensaries that are here now, and they're trying to close the door behind them. So they don't even want anybody in there.
You.
So
I don't believe you.
So when you talk about, so when I talk about Ron Rice and the way he's approaching it, because remember that first one you and I was at, Lefty, in Jersey City?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And did you notice how all of these hearings, these legislative Black Caucus hearings, are taking places in churches.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Sure.
This might be an ignorant question.
Ask it.
Why are white people speaking at these things? Like, why is Kevin Sabet speaking at a Black Caucus? Like, shouldn't the members or the people of the town, the cities, be the ones?
Well, if you
Why do they got to bring in these people, these
they have
heavy hitters?
Yeah.
Well, when you look at
what does Kevin Sabet know about rural New
Jersey? Yeah, like when you look at, and let me say this to you,
urban.
When you look at on the opposition side, they're bringing in they have outsiders who have no ties to this state at all. Now,
How is that allowed?
Wait a minute. Here's the thing. They're also allowing folks who speak in favor of, who are not from this state or have no interest in this state at all. So when you look at folks like Virgil Grant, nothing against Virgil Grant, but you're not from here. And you know, and the people whom he's aligning himself with have not really been playing in the proverbial cannabis space for very long either. Because if they were, there's no way, like, come on, Lefty, you know, no way you looked at Dashida Dawson and Virgil Grant and say, yeah, I want to work with Virgil Grant. I mean, come on. Like, we know that, you know what I'm saying? And she's from you know, she's from New York, but you know, she's played in this space here. You know Gia from Women Grow. You know, like we have, like, there are in this space right here, whether it be in New York or right here in New Jersey, there are some very bright, brilliant minds in the cannabis space.
Why aren't they there?
Yeah, because
That's what I want to know.
They don't want them. When me and Lefty went to the first one, we didn't know we weren't going to be allowed to speak till we walked in the room, and Lefty was like, "They ain't letting us talk." What? And sure enough, they wouldn't allow us to speak.
Nope.
And then the second one, which was last month in Elizabeth, every person who spoke in favor of, there was a very long rebuttal. So my thought process is that, you know, what Ron Rice has done is to me, I think that he needs to evolve himself. And what I mean by evolve himself is, I think it's time for him to move from a decision-making position and into an advisory position.
Bye, Aubrey.
You know what I'm saying?
Aubrey, take care.
But, take care, Aubrey. See you, mama. You know, he needs to move into an advisory position just because, you know, like, your inability to evolve, you know, is to our detriment in terms of, you know, the things that you're saying, because you're not even willing to listen to people who are from here.
I don't even want him as an advisor.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm
I mean,
saying
this
someone who spent as many years as he has in this building, you know what I'm saying? They don't need to be decision makers anymore, but they do need you do ought to want to have them involved in some kind of way, just not in this way at all.
How about, you know, what the constituents want?
Well, that's the thing. You know, when you listen to they're relying. That's the part. That's what makes it so dangerous. They're relying.
The Black Caucus are having these meetings, if you will,
right,
in black churches,
right,
and yet you got white people saying, no, you don't want legal weed. I don't. How come?
Well, you got people. You got people that don't even live here. That don't even live in the state. Yeah,
it's kind of racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's not.
In
a way, something's going on, bro.
You know what? I'm not. I don't care about what color is the messenger. I don't care about the color of the messenger. I just care about how does this impact my neighborhood. I mean, my community. You know, because however I can get the information. Again, their constituents.
Where's Sam from?
Denver. Yeah, I think they're from out of Colorado. Yeah,
Colorado. They ain't
yeah,
from Jersey.
No,
Ain't even
and
close.
Listen. We had one guy sit there. He told this story. Yeah, me and my wife, we were walking down the street, and then all of a sudden, woo! This big cloud of marijuana smoke came into our faces, and we were covering the baby, and everybody's sitting there like, huh?
The baby.
Yeah, and remember the woman when she got up there?
Meanwhile, they're probably smoking a friggin' cigarette.
Listen,
you know,
let me tell you how they did. Let me tell you how they did us dirty. They had this woman. She sat down. She was speaking in opposition of, right, and she sits down. I couldn't even tell you her name. She sat down. She's like, my name is.
Oh yeah.
And we, you know, and look.
Lord have mercy.
Look, Wayne.
I gotta go to these churches because I know how to do it, man. You run around and crap.
Wait. Lefty was sitting on the side, right? Because Lefty had got to a point where he was.
Get behind me, something.
Do not legalize the devil's lettuce.
Wait.
Oh no, Lord.
Listen, at this point, right? Lefty was pissed that they weren't going to allow us to speak, right? Lefty went at Angela McKnight. He went at everybody, right? So Lefty said, okay, I'm going to just be quiet. All right. So he stood on the side, right? And he had his camera like this, right? And this lady said, and my son, you know, and she put on this thing about how her son, you know, she said he died from an overdose of cannabis. And everybody like Lefty was sitting there, right?
First one in 10,000 years.
Look.
It like fell from the sky.
We all said, look. So Lefty was sitting there with his camera, right? She said that. Lefty went. So I saw.
That's what you did to me.
Wait,
We looked at each other. We're like, what?
Yeah, I saw that on the news.
Wait. So Ronnie,
When that package fell from the airplane, and it went in the dude's in his yard, and no, in the house. He was in the living room.
No, she said,
and it hit him right in the freaking head and killed him.
Wait, so
Damn.
Ronnie's sitting next to me, right? And Ronnie doing like
That
this.
was the
Ronnie
dude.
was like, look at Lefty.
That was the dude.
Look at Lefty. Look at Lefty. He about to get going, right? And Lefty's sitting there with the camera like this, right? And he was rocking because this woman was like, when I tell you the Academy Award for most dramatic, you know. So after she get finished talking, right? This lady, the Senator Cunningham, she said, "Ma'am, I have one question for you." She said, "Yeah." She said, "So your son, he was enrolled in the New Jersey medical marijuana program?" And she said, "No, he got it illegally." Everybody, Lefty was, everybody. I was like, "See, that's the setup. That's how they did it." And then, you know, we're sitting there, and then the two people that they allowed to speak was Ravi from the mayor of Hoboken, and Virgil Grant, the dispensary owner from L.A. Now, when Ravi spoke, he was like, I don't think they were prepared for him because they wasn't prepared for a Sikh lieutenant colonel in the United States Army to get up and speak in favor of, and the way he went at them.
No,
they was not prepared for it.
He was for weed.
Yeah. He was talking about. He's a doctor. He was talking about how he has never traded. Yes,
a sick.
Yes, yeah. The mayor of Hoboken. Yeah. Yes, my man. And look, like
we got a couple of six in the government.
Yeah, the attorney
let
general.
me tell you something about this. Six, just so the people out there know, they love Lord Shiva.
Yep. That's I think that's one of their main.
That's right, baby.
Yeah. But
we got six on our side. He's the mayor. That's freaking beautiful.
He's a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. You know, he's awesome. And listen,
you want one of them
when I tell you, you know, the quality of leadership and how it's such a breath of fresh air. It's not just regulated to the governor's office. There are some mayors, you know what I'm saying, that are, you know, our new attorney general, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like these people are not playing. You know, they are for real. And it's like, oh, finally.
They're
now,
for
here's the
us.
thing.
That's great.
It's incumbent upon us, the people, to back them. That's the problem. When you don't have, you know, not very many good people will stick their neck out for other folks who don't even vote for them. You know, we got to back them up. We got to show them that what they're talking, the leadership in which they're showing through their actions and stuff like that. You know, we have to back it up by, you know, from the bottom up, and that's what we're doing.
Here's my problem, Leo. Ron Rice was a Marine.
And
Get off of Ron Rice.
He voted no for PTSD.
He was a cop too. What's your point?
How do you vote no to help your brothers?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
Does he ever answer that question to you?
You know what? I never asked him.
KRS-One has a song.
I don't ask him.
Officer.
No, I don't ask him
Overseer.
because I don't. The reason why I don't ask him is because as a veteran, that's his prerogative. That's exactly what he fought for. It's not, you know, that's freedom is not going to always be convenient what we want it to be. And so as a veteran, you know, from one veteran to another, I respect that man's decision to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? Do I like it? Hell no. You know, but again, you're talking about someone who's making a uninformed decision. As much as he'll tell you, you know, he's researching and everything like that, he's used, there's something more to it than this.
I bet you he's
a whole lot
involved
more.
in
And when you
business
and
in
the
Jersey.
thing is that here's where folks need to really bring Ron Rice and folks like that to the table, like how you bring them to the test. You ask them, okay, if this is about social justice and public health, then why are you not talking to the right people? Because at this point, come on, Lefty, you and I both know he ain't talking to the right people, because if he were, we know about it. We know about it. And the people that he is talking to, like Sam and all them, their job is to come in here, raise all kinds of hell, and then they leave, and we got to deal with what's left over. You see what I'm saying? This is where, you know, we have to, like, again, education of the consumer is paramount, to include our elected officials. I'm sorry, but Ron Rice is not evolved enough in order to move us forward in this space. And that is where, that's where we come into play.
Leo, I had a gift for you, a new Don't Shoot, I'm a Veteran shirt. Can you show it to the camera again?
Yeah.
I have another shirt gift for Wayne. Wayne, I have your gift here, too.
My man.
This is Don't Shoot,
We're
I'm a
big
Veteran.
guys.
And don't shoot, get stoned.
Damn straight.
I'm wearing this on at the cannabis parade in New York. I wore one last year. I'm wearing another one.
That should be big enough for you.
Oh, it is, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
You the man.
Yeah.
$20. You can get these shirts. You come to the podcast, $20. Or come to an I&E tour, any council meeting, any police station we're smoking at, you get a $20 shirt and a wristband.
Oh, word? Oh, yeah.
Maybe a joint, too. You never know.
And probably a joint and lots of dabs.
Oh, Lefty.
Yeah. I dabbed you after the first time. Wasn't that great? At the joint. At the joint.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. And guess what? I only did it once since. Lefty said, go slow, Leo. Jim was sitting right here, and Lefty said, go slow. And I was like, okay. And I hit that thing hard. I wouldn't touch my own stuff for like 3 days. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Thank God I lived in walking distance from the joint.
That place was great.
What's the word? What's the latest on Ed Fortune?
He's got a hearing next week. It's a court, housekeeping kind of
I
stuff.
got a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
No offense.
None.
I see you hobnobbing like,
Ew.
I used to hobnob with the governor, the last governor.
That sounds dirty.
When are you going to talk to him and say, yo, bro, Ed Fortune's in jail. When are you going to give him a bail?
When am I going to talk to the governor about Ed Fortune?
You see him at all these concerts and
He knows. Tell him to come here. Just tell the governor to come here, and we'll ask him all those questions.
Knows.
Ed's got it. He needs a bail.
Let's call him
How do
up.
we get
Let's
him
call
to
the
get a
governor.
bail?
Here, I'll call the governor now.
Here's
I
the
know
thing.
they're not going to let him out.
Yeah,
I know they're going to be like, yo, hey, Ed,
you
get
have
out.
to like what you have to do is actually not the governor. You know what I'm saying? Like Ed doesn't
Come
need
on,
to
the
be.
governor's the big cheese.
I get that, but you also have to recognize that you start that now you're looking and sounding like Christie. You start doing that. You understand what I'm saying? No, I try not to push the governor in ways that will put him in the light that we just got out of. Because I'll be honest with you, whether you realize it or not, that's how they talk about us. You do realize that that's the stuff that makes us the butt of jokes. See what they doing down there in Trenton? Yeah, and then before you know it, you see what I'm saying? What we really got to do is we got to get on the county executives. We got to get on the prosecutors. We got to get on the, we got to, this is where it's on us. It's not the governor. I wouldn't do that to him. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's not like he don't know, because it's not like we ain't talked about it.
Does he know the weed man's in jail?
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows. Yes, he knows. But at the same time,
as long as he knows.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean,
next time you see him, just be like, hey, Ed's still in jail.
Well,
just saying.
We have a list of things to ask him.
And that's it. Can you do that for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's call. Let's call right now and set it up. Here.
Yeah, you
Here
got
we go.
the secretary's
Let's set it up.
number.
Yeah, I got set it up.
You were supposed to do this. This is pre-show.
Governor's office.
Hi, this is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. I'd like to set up an appointment with the governor. We do a podcast outside here at the State House, and I spoke to somebody there about doing a 5-minute interview, if he could. Is that possible?
Hold on.
Sure.
You see, hey, when Christie was governor, this shit didn't happen.
Really?
Oh, come on. They hung up on us.
Governor's office. How may I help you?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. We do the podcast outside in the State House. I think I might have spoke to you about it, about getting the governor to speak with us for like 5 minutes about some cannabis issues. We're a pro-cannabis group out here. We've been out here for like 3 years doing a podcast.
Have you addressed this in writing? Because any request to meet or speak with the governor has to be addressed in writing.
Yes,
and
I did.
it has to go through his scheduling office. You sent that in writing already?
Yes, I did.
When did you send that?
Last week.
I'm sorry?
Last-
you blanked out.
Last week.
And your name is?
My name is Edward Grimes.
Edward.
Grimes.
Okay, hold one moment. Let me check.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Ed. Hi.
Don't you know?
My name is Ed.
No, stop it. It's Lefty.
How are you?
No, it's Lefty. Stop it.
Ed
Stop
with a
it.
D.
Stop it. You're being hurtful.
Yes,
You're
Ed
being,
with
no,
a
you're
D.
being hurtful right now. Be helpful.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Governor, have some class.
Hey, your battery's gonna die. Figures.
Oh, jeez, really?
Plug that in, man.
Oh no.
Plug that in.
Have some class. Have some couth. The governor's on the phone.
Hello, this is the governor.
Hi, it's Ed.
No, it's Lefty. You're being hurtful.
What did you fill it out in? Did you fill it out in Ed?
I put Edward.
Ed?
Edward. Edward.
Oh, like that makes it even better?
Yes.
Hello, Edward.
They're very nice at the governor's office.
Hello, and the governor's smoking a joint right now. Give him a minute. He'll be with you, Ed. Mind if I call you Eddie? I'm listening to that shit out front. You
That's
guys are
not
pretty funny.
You're not funny. You're being hurtful.
Oh, boy.
Let's see if the governor gets on the
They
line.
should have some music.
Hey,
you know?
we have questions for the governor.
Hey, that's my no-no
I
spot.
almost hit you. I almost hit you. I almost hit your.
Us big guys,
oh my God.
you know.
Oh my
Watch
God,
out.
that was really close.
Ow!
What kind of questions are we going to ask the governor?
Next time, wear gloves.
We're
What the hell's the matter with you?
Wait, Trooper.
Touch me there.
What, what kind of questions are you going to ask the governor, Wayne?
Are we supposed to ask questions?
Well, if the governor gets on the phone, what are we going to ask him?
Oh, if the governor gets on the phone, I'm going to say I love him.
Me too.
And that he promised us that in 100 days we'd have legal weed. And, you know, it's that time. It's that time.
But let me ask you something. Do you know what how I'm glad it didn't happen in 100 days. I'm glad it didn't happen. At least for me. You know what I'm saying? At least for because the longer it takes
Mr. Grimes?
Yes, hi.
I'm going to transfer you to our scheduling office.
Okay, thank you very
and
much.
it's under your name, right?
Yes, Edward
Ed,
Grimes.
that's Ed.
No, Edward or Lefty.
I'm sorry?
Edward or Lefty. I'm not sure what name I used. It's Edward or Lefty Grimes. It's my nickname is Lefty.
Okay, all right.
Wayne keeps calling me Ed, and it's driving me crazy here.
Okay, Ed. Hold, please.
All right, so they should have some music, like dun, dun, dun. I was thinking more cha-cha-cha.
No, but back to
Do the
what you were
cha-cha-cha.
saying.
What?
Yes, I'm just happy that we got a governor that's serious about the legalization of cannabis. I don't care how long. Well, I care how long it takes, but I could wait a year. Okay, I could wait a year for it to get correctly done.
Yeah, that's
you know, especially when I hear Assemblyman walking by here saying, you know what, we're down for people being able to grow, we're down for people being able to dispense, and we're also down for people to have delivery service. Pretty much,
transportation.
That's what transportation is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, hey, get it done the right way, and if 2019,
and minority inclusion.
Exactly,
Minority
of course.
inclusion is a big deal. Now that can't be done in the first 100 days. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying? And I'm glad it didn't happen, and I'm glad the governor was able to back that date a lot
Back
further.
that ass up.
I know, right?
Mr. Grimes?
Yes, hi.
Did you speak with our scheduling office this morning?
No, not yet.
Because it's pending.
Oh,
There's no response yet.
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
Okay, they do have your request,
Okay.
but it's pending.
What does that mean?
That
means maybe yes, maybe no.
I'm sorry?
What does
I
that
don't know, sir. I can only tell you what the scheduling office has explained to me, and they said they've explained to you as well that it's pending.
Oh,
So I guess it means he has no openings as of yet,
Okay.
but it's pending.
No, that's pending
Okay.
with a P.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're actually outside at the State House at the Annex, so he can stop here on the way to work or on his way home or wherever. It's.
Well, no, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
if he is available, his scheduling office will contact you and make you aware if he's available or not.
Just so you know, Governor Christie walked past our podcast like 12 times. Just so you know.
And he would say
I'm
hi
sorry?
to us.
Yeah, Governor Christie used to walk past us and talk to us at our podcast. So we'd like Governor Murphy to do that too.
But that's in your letter, am I correct?
Yes.
Did you put all that in your letter?
Yes.
Because I don't handle the scheduling office.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But they have your request.
Great.
Thank you, darling,
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Have a good one.
Take care. You too.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Hey, I got a question for you.
You got to realize, man, some of these people have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
And then like they be like I could tell with her, she don't know nothing. And that's nothing bad on her. It's just this ain't her realm of understanding.
pending.
Yeah, pending is better than no.
Pending.
Yeah, pending is better than
pending.
no. Give him a
It
chance.
wasn't an N-O. It's pending. That's neither yes nor no. So
I think Wayne was picking up on it too.
Anything else, sir?
You all right, man?
Oh, he's all PO'd that he can't be hitting his little button things.
Yeah, I was trying to set up my sampler.
Yeah, it's
Can't
too late,
do
bro.
it.
It's almost time
Like,
to go. My big Jew. That's the buttons he wants to hit. Those buttons. I am the law.
I am the law. I am the law.
I am the law.
We got to call Joe Rullo, too. We forgot about him. I was supposed to call him. Just so you know. You know Joe Rullo. We can hang up on him, too.
No, I don't know Joe Rullo.
He ran for governor.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
For Republican. And he's all about the cannabis. Joe Rullo. From Canaway. Canaway.com.
Burger King.
I'd like to place an order, please.
How you doing?
You got any French fries?
We have none in order. We only have chocolate shakes and French fries.
Are they medicated?
Yes, they are. They're cannabis fries.
Cannabis fries.
I'll take them.
I'll take 2 orders.
With cheese.
Large.
With melted cheese.
With cannabis cheese.
Bring some soda, too. Bring some grape soda, too. Why not?
Hey, Joe Rullo.
Don't laugh. They have cannabis beer.
Oh.
Oh, no, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Cannabis beer, I don't know. I don't know about. I know it's out there.
I don't like beer either.
Yeah. Joe Rullo, what's going on, buddy?
It's cool. Nothing. Just, amazed that 420's coming, which is 100 days, and the governor's promise is now null and void because now we're not going to have legal pot in New Jersey. And he's saying a year, but I don't even believe it's going to be a year.
No, it'll happen in a year. It will. I guarantee you.
I don't know.
It will happen in a year.
I don't.
Well, you got to learn to be more positive. You're a negative Nelly. I guarantee you pot will be legal.
I know politicians.
So then if you know politicians, then you know the governor already has now for the year 2019 in his budget, $300 million expected in the first year of legal weed. Now, ain't no way in hell these New Jersey politicians are just going to, nah, we don't want that. Nah, we don't want that. Nah, trust me. It's all about the money, and that's what's going to happen. Okay? I guarantee it. If I lose, I'm going to give you an ounce of weed, Joe, and you don't even smoke. I'll give you an ounce of weed, and you give me an ounce of your CBD oil. Is it on?
No.
Because you know we're going to have legal weed January 1st, 2019. I guarantee that. Get ready.
The problem that you're going to have to keep up the pressure on people like Van Drew. He's a state senator, and he's running for Congress to take over Leviando's spot, and he's against weed.
Well, don't vote for him.
But he's a state senator. He's a state senator. He's a Democrat. Why isn't he not for weed?
Well, give us his number. We'll call him up. We love to bother people. Especially politicians, they promised us, oh, when Governor Christie's gone, you'll have legal weed. And these are the same guys that are against it. Let us shame them. I love to shame them.
I think it's because Van Drew is connected to Norcross, and Norcross controls Sweeney. So you have this very powerful axis.
Who, Weenie?
Okay.
Weenie? Who's Weenie?
Sweeney.
What's Weenie do?
He's the majority leader of the Senate.
Weenie is the majority leader? Yeah.
And he could basically sit on this. He could sit on this
Whoa!
marijuana thing.
Weenie's going to sit where?
You what?
Where's Weenie going to sit?
He could sit on this whole entire thing and make sure it doesn't come out of committee.
Nah, I'll call his office
if it
every day.
doesn't-
I will call his office every day. I'll have people call Weenie's office every day. Because
We got to get a lot of people too.
well, Joe, let's go. I get you, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, right? That's how it goes.
Yep, and what you guys are doing, you know, with the thing over there today, it's giving visibility, which is great. You know, every day, every week, it'll remind them, you know, that they haven't done what they promised yet.
That's why we got to get on their asses. That's why we got to
I'm
shame
just
them.
very surprised. I'm just very surprised, if not shocked, that the Democratic legislature, you know, a lot of the leaders are actually
Weenie, right? He's a leader.
Sweeney and
Oh, am I saying his name wrong?
Weenie?
It's not Weenie?
No, it's not Weenie. It's Sweeney.
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 I like Weenie better. No, I don't like Weenie better. Never mind.
I heard you like Weenie. We all know
Screwing up.
you like Weenie. We saw it.
No, I don't like Weenie.
You didn't even let the Kabasi Queen go first. You went first. You gobbled that thing before the Kabasi Queen. How dare you? You
Anyway,
showed up
Joe,
the
we're
Kabasi
talking about
Queen.
Weenie.
Did you
Sweeney.
see that, Joe? You see him take that Kabasi? It was embarrassing.
Who else? We gotta bother Sweeney. We gotta bother Rice. We gotta bother who are the other ones?
Van Drew is in a primary of his life against this woman named Tansy. Her last name's Tansy, and she's for legalization, but Van Drew isn't.
Hannity? Did you say Hannity?
Tansy,
Pansy.
Oh, okay. I don't have my cans on.
as in pansy.
Oh my God!
Wayne
So
said
we
it-
got
Wayne-
Pansy and Weenie. Pansy and Weenie. These are the people against cannabis.
Pansy and Weenie. That's crazy. It's embarrassing.
And they're Democrats too, right?
Tansy is for marijuana versus.
Oh, hold on, Kansy.
What's
Is it with a P or with a C?
It's for marijuana. Van Drew, no, Tansy, as in pansy rhymes with tansy, T.
Okay, it's Pansy.
But then you have what's his name, Van Drew, and he's running for Congress, and he's the favorite to run against the Republican in November. And Van Drew is not only running for Congress, but he's also a state senator who's going to decide if there's going to be marijuana, and he's one of the people that are holding us back because he's against it. You know? What's up, buddy?
What's his name? You need to put a post out about that, bro. Or you gotta like message me with those names.
Walmart, you went around the corner and said, "That's who he was." I kept thinking you were somebody from freaking.
Yo, okay, hey, he's talking to somebody. Put him down right now.
Hey,
Joe Rullo's talking
hey,
to somebody
you're
else.
on the radio, Joe Rullo. What are you doing?
You wouldn't do this if this was, you know,
If you're on a
New
Howard
Jersey
Stern.
101.
Yeah. If it was Howard Stern, you wouldn't be doing that.
Come on. Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Oh, he had a question.
Joe?
Hang up on him. Ask
Joe.
him a question and just hang up.
Joe.
Joe, who's going to be the next?
Joe. Joe.
Click.
Joe
Click.
Rullo. He hung up on us.
He did.
He.
As I told you to do it
actually,
first.
No, he's.
No. Hey, I'm here.
Nah,
my phone went out.
Your phone went out. Yeah, it did.
You got me?
No, huh? Hello? Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me now? Caller, you are on the air.
You're on the air. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you know Van Drew is running for Labiando's spot, and he's a Democrat, and he's against marijuana, and he's a senator right now in New Jersey, and he's one of the reasons why Murphy can't pass it because he doesn't have all the Democrats behind him, and Van Drew's one of them.
Yeah, we got to start calling.
Yeah. What the? What?
Yeah. We got to start calling because.
And listen to this, Tansy, his opponent, she's for marijuana, so you should get on her bandwagon.
What'd you call me? I don't know what you're calling me over here. Joe, this is like, you know, this is unprofessional. You're calling me pansy. You're calling me a weenie.
You bandwagon.
Wow. Well,
The weather's nice over there, huh?
yeah, we're smoking weed at our podcast for the first time.
It's cloudy with a lot of cannabis.
Second time, actually.
It's episode 101.
I'm smoking CBD,
Nice.
so I'm smoking cannabis as well.
Joe, I got a question about your CBD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
got
go.
him in the mid word.
Oh.
Yeah, woo! He was like, yeah,
That's not right. That's not right.
Thank you, Joe Rullo. Joe Rullo ran for governor. Love that guy. All right.
It's raining? Don't say
So
that.
we have another call to make. Oh, here it comes.
Give me liberty or give me death.
You're on the air with Sativa Cross.
Caller, you're on the
You're
air.
on the air. You're on the air. Really?
Tony!
Tony. Really? Tony. Tony, it's not me, Tony.
Are you sure?
Tony.
Which one's the
You're making us look like hacks, Tony.
Which one's the caller?
Tony.
Which one? Which one's the?
Oh, Tony.
Tony.
Hurtful, Tony. Hurtful.
Tone.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
We got another call to make anyway.
Yeah, who we calling? Who we calling?
Our Sativa Cross West host. Hold on.
Yo, hold on. Let's talk about Weedman real quick. April 16th, right?
He has court next week.
April 16th.
Oh, I lost my connection. Oh, shit.
Goddamn cannabis has hit me in the head. The hell? I love it. Look at this, Lefty. You see this shit? It's just raining cannabis here. I love this. The State House. You see this?
It's raining cannabis.
I told you.
It's
beautiful.
raining weed. Hallelujah. It's raining weed.
Amen. Amen. Hala ganja. Okay.
Ganja.
There we go.
It's raining weed.
Finally, you ruined the whole bid. I was going to call as the governor from the future, but you fucking announced me and then gave me dead air.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Caller, you are on the air.
Caller. Governor stoned, man. Governor Murphy, you sound really high.
Wow.
Can I demonstrate
This
a
is the
vapor weight
governor.
for
I'm
everybody?
calling from the future.
You're calling from the future.
Hey, everybody.
What year
this
is it?
TJ Finnerty, and this is a vaporweight invention.
3 weeks
Cheap
from now?
volcano.
Hold on,
What?
TJ. We have a call going. Hold on. We have a call.
sorry, so
We're
sorry.
in the middle of a call, TJ. You stoner, you?
This is
TJ's so stoned. He's sitting there with a vapor. Oh, my God. He's got a bag, a vapor
That's
bag.
why you're not allowed to smoke at the podcast
He's
table.
putting
Yes, you
together.
are.
Oh,
now we
my God.
can.
Look at this.
Now we can
Look
because
at
we
TJ.
measured. It's 25 feet away from
Go
the
to the
door.
green room.
Look at this. This is great. I need a picture of this.
Uh-oh. We have a
Hey, Tony, this is Jim. Yeah, our
Terrible
podcast.
Hey,
rain.
how you doing, Jim Miller?
All right, Tony. Well, we're out by the sidewalk now. Lefty don't go into the fountain area now, so we're right out on the sidewalk where we're allowed to smoke. So we get to smoke.
Yeah, you're past.
Oh,
You're
they-
past the Stephen Kupfelich crack.
We are. It's the
Oh, my Lord.
It's the demarcation line, but yes, that crack.
Well, yeah, the demarcation line. That's right. That's right.
the decannabization line. Beautiful thing here in
I
New
will
Jersey.
always love sitting by the fountain, but you're in a better spot there.
So how you doing? Where are you calling us from, caller?
What's that?
Where are you calling us from?
I am calling from lovely Santa Rosa, California,
Oh my God!
which is not on fire today.
Praise the
Thank
Lord.
God.
Smells like cannabis there.
It's,
I bet you.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm smoking Bruce Banner watching you guys today, working in the glass studio.
Bruce Banner. He's over at your house. You chilling with Bruce Banner?
Yeah, I'm chilling
Holy.
with Bruce Banner today.
Awesome. Watch out. You might get, you might turn green and all, and get big and muscly. So watch out.
Well, yeah, that's how I do my creativity, you know.
Ooh.
I turn into the Hulk of artistics. And that's artistics, not autistics. I am autistic also, but, the cannabis helps that stuff.
Yes, it does. Speak to it, brother. Where's Lefty?
But, yeah, I'm just not making art. I'm building my glass studio while you guys change the world over there.
Beautiful.
Standing on the shoulders of giants like Cheryl Miller and Jim Miller.
Amen. Jim's around here somewhere.
No, I just said he said I was.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Michelle
people.
Burns, hero.
You're not kidding. She's here. She's talking without a mic. I tell you, she's a
Wayne the Sausage King.
Kielbasi. It's Kielbasi. I'm just saying. It's Kielbasi, okay?
William Haney in attendance. I was
Yes.
actually at the last one he was at. He had a bad arm that day and then had a bad day.
That was July 20th. The day Haney had a stroke.
I was there, man. I remember it.
You really?
Yeah, he was complaining that his arm hurt, and he was kind of disgruntled a little and left. And next thing I know, all that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, Haney's always disgruntled.
Well, yeah, it was not unnatural for him to be disgruntled, so no one really thought more of it.
He's doing the same shit today. He's like, my arm.
We love you, Haney. We love you. I need some of your flags. I got a bunch of those Arlo bars that can become pen stands for fancy senator desks, but I need some of your flags.
Medical-freedom.com. That's where you go and get the flags.
Excellent.
Okay. I can't hear you.
And you get the fancy art pieces from ArloGlassCreations.com.
You hear that? Whoa! I didn't know you got the website. It's up and running. Arlo.
It'll be up and running this week. I'm in the process of building it when I'm not talking to you guys.
ArloGlass.com.
Creations with a Z at the end.
Okay. Arlo.
This is Zuckerberg's. This is the Zuckerberg world we're living in here. It says everything's got a Z.
Arlo's Glass. Ah, shit.
I'll post it.
You do that because
It's enough about me.
No, screw that.
Let's talk about cannabis.
Yeah, let's talk about it, baby. Hopefully, we get it legal here like it is where you're at in Cali.
Yeah, it's wide open here.
Oh, that's what Governor Murphy promised us.
Although the taxes are a little ridiculous. And you have to buy these child-proof bags to walk your weed out of the store, which aggravates the brains out of me. Coming soon to a Jersey dispensary near you, I guarantee you.
Shh! How dare you? Don't give him any ideas, man.
Tony, don't worry.
I just bought stock in the bag company. Come on.
We have confidence you can learn how to open child-proof things, Tony. We have confidence in you.
Jim Miller.
You know what? They make the child-proof prescription bottles, but you can request to not have them. And I have chronic regional pain syndrome in my hands. I don't want to be messing with no child-proof bag.
I can't get the top
And
off my
especially don't
coffee
want to pay
creamer.
$3 for it.
$3 just for the bag?
Yeah, and if you don't have one, then you got to buy. It's like extortion. You wait in line, you go to the dispensary, you get your herb, you don't have your bag, you're like, oh, I forgot my bag. They're like $3.
Bam!
You're in a better world,
And
Tony.
that's all it is, is to walk out the door.
We're not going to feel sorry for you. You know that.
I ain't, because that same
He's
dispensary.
in a better place.
That same dispensary's like, yo, it's wear our hat day, and you get a free joint. So he walks in, he gets all that crap, he pays $3, and he gets a freaking free joint on top of it.
My friend, I get a text message every day. Tells me where the freebies are at every dispensary within 30 miles.
I'm telling you, that's California's beautiful.
We still had to move our table out to the sidewalk where the wind can. We're holding it down because we can't strap it to the railings where we can't smoke. And we all agreed we'd rather smoke and hold the tent top down out by the road. This is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah,
We just can't pass anything.
It's just to be able to sit right there, yeah.
All we can't do is we can't pass anything around because patients aren't allowed to share.
That's right. We're not allowed to be social.
Wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
The less they know, the better. No, nothing.
How antisocial is that?
And trust us, we don't share.
What kind of society says that sick people cannot share their natural herbal medications with each other?
I know.
The American
I
society.
beg to differ. Who's sick? I'm just using flowers to feel better. What's your problem?
Yeah, this is. We're smiling more though.
We don't look sick. We're pretty damn happy, aren't we?
Oh,
well, as long as we're happy, that's all that matters.
We were pointed out by a group going into the State House to a state trooper, and he just, you could see the mime, the shaking his head while he shrugged his shoulders, probably saying they're patients. They have a right to do that, and kept walking.
They know who we are.
We can't tackle those ones.
They got all upset.
Yep.
But then
Why, because they had to smell cannabis?
No, because
the bongs,
nothing happens.
The bongs out.
We were
The
being
cleaning
legal.
utensils are out. We're brandishing, Tony. We are brandishing.
Oh, brandishing.
We are allowed to brandish.
But we made friends.
I
Don't
will
worry.
brandish my durable medical equipment everywhere. Hey, you know what? Actually, I technically cannot legally do that here.
You're not going to get us to feel sorry for you. For those that don't know or are tuning in, he's on the other side of the country where things are fair, better.
It's the land of milk and honey out here as far as cannabis goes.
Yeah, the streets are paved with buds, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
I walk the dog to the dispensary. I buy a single pre-roll of super high-end organic do-si-do. And then I walk along the river and I talk to the animals.
You talk to the animals. As long as you ain't, never mind. Just talk to them.
As long as there are actually animals there, you're good.
Well, yeah, I walk the dog. That's how I get healthy. I smoke my weed. I walk the dog. I'm a whole. I heard you earlier. People were talking about lost all this weight.
Yes.
The first time I came to a Sativa Cross podcast in Trenton, I was almost 300 pounds. Today, I'm like 190, healthiest I've ever been.
Bam!
No pharmaceuticals.
You included. I actually, when I saw that, there were two great stories, and then you and others. I like the idea of people don't understand that it can have that effect on people's lives. They think of munchies and getting heavy, not losing half your body, you know?
No, it gave me my life back.
Yeah.
Me too, bud. I mean, I lost half my body weight on this stuff and all the medications, and I'm going completely green. Mother Nature made me natural
awesome.
again. You know?
Thank you so much for coming out and talking. There's not enough people that are willing to.
Right on.
Amen.
Yeah, it's scary coming out and telling, shaming your story. But this is a Rocky Mountain recovery story for many people that needs to be blessed to other people. And this is going to bloom the world. And Governor Murphy is a genius to get this stuff out to the masses because he knows that shame is part of addiction. And not everybody's got the courage to come out and be open about it.
Well put.
And this bud has bloomed me into having enough bravery to come out and just admit where I am today. And the present is in the present. It's not the past. And we have to let go of the pain of the past and let these buds blossom our future. Hey, that's not bad.
Hala ganja today.
We all went through a process with these medical doctors and the DEA and the government where they made us sick. They made us feel like there was something wrong, why we were sick. They made us feel like criminals because we were sick.
It's called gaslighting in psychology.
They made us criminals.
I agree with you, my brother. I agree with you. They did the same to me. They used labels that were heavy labels, and they assured me I had a chemical imbalance and that it could only be fixed with their medications. And if I didn't take those medications, I'd go crazy. And if I went crazy, I would be violating all kinds of rules, and my family would run away from me.
They want you to go crazy so they can label you.
Well, they don't really want us to go crazy. They had a solution for us. And the only solution they had for us, because they never researched cannabis, because of some selfish-ass billionaire that was so rich, he was so far up the food chain, he could pull it out of the food chain. And I hope Donald Trump replants that back into our food chain, because that's what caused addiction in America and across the world. That selfishness, that chemical addiction, because he was pushing chemicals. It's as simple as that, and that's the ugly truth.
They're looking right at you.
Amen to that.
Hey, so, somewhere along the line, somebody sold a line of bullshit that a flower bud was the real gateway drug. Well, they hinted at it. They gated the flower buds that would get us off the drugs they were going to sell us. And that's just the ugly truth. And it's time to take back our power, and you're going to find that in a flower. So you better line up at those dispensaries now, because I haven't even gotten in there yet. I got to get back there, and I'm looking to make some money. Being a reviewer, I guess that'll happen one day, I hope. But today is the day I take my life back. It's my 57th birthday.
Awesome.
And I'm calling my rebirth day.
It's rebirth day.
And everybody else can have a rebirth day too if they just use flower buds instead of drugs.
Amen. Flower buds instead of drugs.
Hey, born again. You've got to die to truly live.
A la ganja.
Nobody in my family would listen to my 12-step message that they can recover. You got to get off all the alcohol, get off all those chemicals, and you can be natural again. Mother Nature's nectar for your nervous system is soon to be available to the masses.
Halaganja. That's what we're talking about.
Hallelujah.
Halaganja, baby. Halaganja. Halaganja.
Shout out, Cindy Ruggiero. How you doing? Hallelujah.
Any chemical that constipates you is a depressant. That is just Mother Nature saying, you're giving me something I don't like. So ganja has not that side effect. You end up being happy, joyous, and free. So just dump the stigma, because it's a line of bullshit, everybody.
Amen. That was a lot of
The
shit you
side
just
effect of
talked about.
cannabis is liberty.
Liberté.
Yeah,
Give
somewhere
me
along
liberty
the
or
lines,
give me
By
death.
the way, I studied constitutional law a little bit. I was the president of the pre-law club at Kane University 3 straight years. And I worked in Washington, D.C. a little bit. This is a nation of property rights. And somewhere along the line, somebody took something off our property across this country. And they took our freedom when they did it. And I can't wait till the rest of the world catches up to what we all know.
As a state police
Mother Nature is going to be
vehicle
legalized
keeps
again.
walking where it drives by. Talk about taking away freedoms. Holy crap. Hey, Cindy, talk about your friend.
I try to talk it up when there's a politician going by.
Oh, you can't.
And God said, I give every seed-bearing plant for you to use as food.
Yo, hey, this ain't religious hour now. Holy
Yeah,
crow.
there's a saying, there's probably no human power that can relieve our ism.
Flower
But God
power.
could and would if he were sought. But evil made it illegal, and that's my 12-step message to everybody.
Amen. Hala ganja. Hey, yo, Lefty. what the-
Nature can never be illegal.
Some
Amen to
asshole
that.
made God illegal.
Let's go, man.
What?
Aren't you supposed to be
Well, I'm
calling?
smoking a blunt.
See, that's the problem.
Well, not
now
all
I'm-
forms
Hey,
of
who's-
God are good.
Now I'm chiefing it.
Tony's like, where's
Now
Lefty?
Tony's like, hey, he took my blunt again. He took the second
Oh,
blunt.
you suck. You better go back over there.
When it
Yeah.
comes to cannabis prohibition and cannabis legalization, who's more important for the fight?
Who you gonna call?
God or Lucifer?
Trust me, even the power...
Lefty. Lefty.
Oh, he hung up on us.
no.
Lefty.
He got us.
You suck.
He got us.
See, because you're too busy smoking friggin' pot, and you're not paying attention. That's not right. That's
I
not
happened
right.
to get a job working for a billionaire who was pretty damn cranky. Cannabis made it a lot easier to do that job. So I have a feeling a lot of people that work even in the president's cabinet could benefit from cannabis therapy.
I think they do, to be honest with you.
William Sessions, you might want to get a joint one day.
Jeff Sessions.
Oh, I forgot your name,
I was
man.
wondering who William was.
We're going to forget your name after you get fired by Donald Trump.
This is Honey Boobs.
By the way, I am job hire on Twitter, and I am trying to publicize our mission.
Your
so
call has been forwarded.
JOBHIGHER
Automated voice
on
messaging
Twitter.
system.
Follow me
50.
and promote me.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I want to hire humans by firing their addictions.
Oh, look who's here.
Who's here? Who's here?
At the tone, please record your message.
Cindy.
When you've finished
Jason Arnold in the house.
What's up? What's up, Mr. Jason?
And the pretty baby. Baby.
Hell yeah.
Sydney.
Hey, what's up?
Baby Sydney.
Thanks,
Hi,
bro.
Sydney. Hello. Hello. Oh, my God. Look how cute she is. Are we leaving a message for Honeybee? I think we are.
Why not?
All right. Honeybee, come close the show with us, Honeybee.
Honeybee.
It's that time.
And
It's that time.
What's up? Tell me to get off your freaking mic.
Sorry.
No. Try that, bro.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
gonna
smoking your
trust
blood.
me.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was yummy.
Lefty, I want you to try my
don't touch my
anti-anxiety
weed.
bag.
Put my weed back.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice bud.
Well, really, and freaking mom's just like taking it like it's hers. It's not yours, Ma. Over here.
She just
Mom.
smelled it. She just smelled it. She just smelled
Oh,
it.
it smells like fucking heaven. Heaven isn't too far away. Oh, where's the list? Let's go.
I'm getting there. Hold on. We got stuff to do first.
Dude,
you're the worst.
I'm the worst.
Yes.
You're the one that called freaking Sativa West to do the list, and so they ain't got the list, so we got to do the list.
You guys ready with the list? Are you ready with the list?
No, are you? Yes? Is that a yes?
Almost.
All right, so while you're getting ready, I am so glad I got to see you. This is my 420 visit to New Jersey, since I'll be all over the place, and I'm so glad I got to come visit.
Thanks, Shelly.
And see you for your start of your podcast and many more.
Thanks
Be
for the
back.
cookies.
Oh, yeah, enjoy.
Did you make those cookies in a magical butter machine?
No, actually, I got the cooking hash from my local dispensary.
Oh, okay. I make mine in a magical butter machine.
Uh-huh.
Yes. This is our magical butter machine theme song.
Are you getting magical cookies out of that magical?
You can make magical butter cookies.
I love the magic. I do love the magical butter machine because then I can use the strain of my choice and get the flavors I want out of my cannabis.
Brownies, cookies, smoothies, sauces, soups, veggies, candies, salad dressings. Pure tossed salad, Wayne.
So the magical
Toss
butter
salad,
machine
Wayne.
makes magical munchies. Is that right? Magical munchies with the
Magical-
magical butter machine?
Magicalbutter.com.
Magicalbutter.com for magical munchies. You hear that, right?
1-800-420-4334. 1-800-420-4334.
What? Who? Where? Huh?
Bake away your
Magical
pain.
butter.
Comes with a love glove. Comes with a love glove. What is a love glove?
Oh, that is
Oh, you
something
oughta
that
know.
you use because the oil or butter or whatever you're going to convert to canna is going to be a little warm.
Oh.
So you want to use that love glove.
Oh.
That way you don't burn your hands.
I like when you go, love glove.
Because it is a love glove.
Love.
Now, after you use the love glove, you can use it on yourself.
Oh!
Well, it actually, no, it's healthy. It's a lot of canna oil. Instead of, a little KY, canna Y, canna Y, yes. Sponsored by Canna Butter.
1-800-420-4334. Magicalbutter.com.
Canna Y.
Magical Butter. Get your Magical Butter machine from magicalbutter.com.
Yes. Garen's living the life. God bless him. Great guy. Great company. For all you people that are on episode 1, as Leo kept saying,
you better catch up.
You want to get, seriously, you want to get a magical butter machine.
To magically baste yourself.
No, because it's easy to make your flour into medicine.
Magicalbutter.com.
Now.
Magicalbutter.com. I love that. Great company.
Magical butter.
Jason Arnold just shoved a marijuana card in my face. Jason, do you have a medical cannabis card now?
He
wow,
better.
Yay.
He better.
All right. Jason Arnold with the cannabis card.
Hold on.
Nice.
Is it after April 1st? Your card. All right, here.
What does that mean?
I got to give him a joint.
Celebration.
I said everybody that gets their card after April 1st, and this ain't no joke.
Gets a Burrini Bernie.
They get.
Gets a Burrini
What am I? Here, hold on. Let me give you a better one. There you go, bro. April 6, 2018. Congratulations.
Yay!
Congratulations.
See, I'm not kidding, people.
You can come and get your license too.
Take your health care back, baby.
More patients,
Get in control.
more dispensaries, more weed. It's what it's all about here in New Jersey.
That's right. Call
We're
in.
budding beauties out here. We're budding
we
beauties.
can tell you about doctors in your area. Call in.
That's right. We have all the answers.
Yes, we do. We can tell you what you need and to go with and how to get your license real quick and smooth.
Speaking of quick and smooth, you're on the air, honey boobs.
Honey boobs.
Hi.
Hi, buddy.
Hello, everyone.
And how are you this beautiful day?
Oh, is it a beautiful day?
It is.
It's a beautiful day in the
We're
neighborhood.
smoking weed. How can it not be a
Oh.
beautiful day?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Well, because I got to open my eyes.
We don't want to know. If it's one of those shows,
oh boy,
this is family friendly.
Fendi.
Family friendly.
It's pending. It's pending.
It's pending.
It's pending.
Pending. Uh-huh.
With a P. With a P.
You like that, didn't you?
With it.
All right, we got this list.
Well, I want to thank cmmmnj.org.
Guy right behind us, Jim Miller.
Yeah, without them, we wouldn't even be able to do this.
Ken Walski. Who else is on the board?
Larry's here.
Larry Vargo. In the his
Larry Vargo in the house.
In the house.
CMMNJ board member.
They're fighting for your right
I'm
to
just
have
a
legal
lacking
cannabis.
supporter.
Like I said, they're fighting for your right to have legal cannabis in New Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're looking to expand the medical marijuana program.
Yes, so call in. Get your doctors now.
CMMNJ.org.
And we support recreational marijuana because we know it's going to be a medicinal plant for the people who are not willing to talk about their problems.
Also, it can get you off many pharmaceuticals. Multiple.
I am one who's not been on a pharmaceutical for a year and a half, and the plant has completely changed my diet to a green-based diet. So that's happening out there for a lot of people.
Same here.
Did you say green?
Grain.
Oh, grain.
Green diet, yeah.
Green.
I don't even eat meat anymore.
I was going to say because it ain't green. I saw those cookies. Those cookies were not green. They were white cookies.
They were yummy.
I'm just saying. Okay, you said grain. My bad.
I don't normally eat cookies.
SativaCross.com.
You'll eat those, though.
Happy Daddy Products. NewJerseyWeedman.com. Stop right there.
It's time to get the weed man out of jail, by the way.
How long has it been? This is
Over
insane.
a year.
This
Weed
is
Man's been in jail.
crazy.
Disgusting.
It doesn't make any sense. He was found innocent,
Let's not
right?
end it on an angry
found
note,
innocent,
though.
wasn't he? Wasn't he?
Absolutely disgusting what they've done to that man. Shocking.
Are they trying to hide it? To hide him away. Hide him away.
He's going to court next week for a hearing, and then the jury selection will start, and he goes through the whole process again. But he's going to win again. You watch. He's going to kick their ass again. I want to know what's their names again? The prosecutors, Wayne. What's the prosecutor's name?
Cunts and Boils.
Oh, what did they do with the money their parents gave them?
They spent it on, I don't know.
They didn't go to law school.
Yo, look at
Ed
this.
Fortune
I'm stealing
kicked their
some of
ass.
this.
Oh, yeah,
Ed Fortune
that's
kicked their
nice,
ass,
right?
and they must have spent $500,000 on law school, and Ed Fortune kicked their ass.
This banana cream OG.
Embarrassing.
I'm sorry. Are you saying something?
Embarrassing.
What do you mean banana?
We're talking about Ed Fortune, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, April 16th. April 16th. That's 4 days.
Ed Fortune can't see that weed. He wishes he had that weed right there. He can't smoke that weed.
That's Monday. If you're a NJ Weedman fan, you happen to be in Trenton, stop by the Mercer County Courthouse.
Yeah, he'll be in court.
April 16th. That's Monday. Do we have a time?
Probably 9. You can
Probably
at least
9?
see him. Yeah, you can see him and say hi. That's about it.
You know,
Go support him.
Yeah.
I'm just smelling a flower bud here.
Donate some money.
Yeah, Ed can't smell that. Ed doesn't smell that anymore. He hasn't smelled that in over a year.
Don't get to smell that no more.
He can't smell that. He can't smoke that.
You gotta stop snorting that.
Ed can't do nothing for his cancer. Ed has cancer, and he needs that, and Ed can't get that. So there's something wrong with that.
Look at that. Speaking
There's
of
something
that,
wrong with that when Ed sits in jail with cancer.
It's not right.
So if you're getting stoned and you're enjoying it and you have done nothing to help others, you should be ashamed of yourself. What does Jim say? Jim has a speech he says about that. He says, how do you even enjoy getting high if you never helped anyone? Something like that.
10%. I like the 10% rule.
Bestow the same blessings that we've received.
Yeah.
And that's why we're out here boldly sharing with you our recovery story.
Let's do it.
10%.
UFCW, United Food and Commercial Workers, Local 152, Hugh Giordano is the man.
It's time that we allow ourselves to buy each other flowers again.
Unionize.
Yo, don't forget about, UFCW Local 420 too, brother.
And that's ours.
That's us, baby.
Unionize.
We gotta
Don't forget
plug ourselves.
littleJobHire.com.
Yes. DavidVersusAutism.org, Blue Planet Biotech, Run New Jersey, Medical-Freedom.com, NewJerseyCannabisBusiness.com, CannabisLegalSolutions.net, New Jersey, Grannies for Grass, Minorities for Marijuana, Toughies Fight, Canaway, Legalize for Lorelei, JacksonStorms.com, Prayers for Sarah, Prayers for Pete, Jenny's Purple Ribbon Journey, Jenna's Journey, Aerial Photography, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, Weed for Warriors, Northeast Veterans Alliance, and Sativa Cross West.
That was like, I'm sorry, that was weak. That was like Lefty like getting beat up by that lawyer.
Whoa! That was me on the ground in Linden.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I need to wake up.
Oh my God.
You know what cannabis does to you when you're sleeping?
Wake and bake.
It helps you sleep better.
Wake up,
Which
wake
is
up,
the most
wake up.
important thing in life is to be able to restore yourself with good sleep. And cannabis is going to blow the ambient market out of the world.
You heard it.
Oh, yeah.
That's because it's natural to go to bed smelling flowers. It's
Yeah.
not natural compounding chemicals which confound our personalities and corrupt our minds and our souls.
You heard all the stories about people losing weight. You're one of them. I'm one of them. I lost 40 pounds. A lot of people, Larry, we all lost weight using cannabis, getting off those pharmaceuticals. All of us.
Which means it's curing an addiction that the pharmaceuticals were causing. And that's
Yes.
just plain psychology and basic science. If something that you're taking is causing things like constipation and weight gain, that is by definition an
Side
addiction
effect.
or depression.
Yep. So there
I
it
know
is.
I have a 4.0 grade point average in psychology. But I couldn't behave
Yeah.
myself out of a
Well, I'm
paper
on
bag when I
episode-
was on that shit.
I'm on season 8, episode 3. What do you think about that? Talking about your
I don't
GPA.
know what that is. Well, my
Oh,
GPA didn't
oh,
mean
you don't-
shit. I was disabled on those chemicals. I was chemical cash cow.
Me too. I was like a zombie.
Yeah, I
Me
couldn't
three.
fucking work. I
Sucked.
couldn't work at all.
I could work. Yeah.
Those grades meant nothing because I was a chemically castrated cash cow of Big
Ow!
Pharma.
Oh! That hurt.
Oh,
You like
wow,
that?
why?
A chemically
Why?
castrated cash cow of Big Pharma,
Oh.
and the rest of the world is the same way.
That's better than
And
Cannabis Kabasi King.
You wait
It's
till
more
we start to
seeds.
grow more and more flowers, and more flowers come out of the woodwork like us, and the rest of the world's going to lynch the people that outlawed this flower.
Amen. Halaganja.
First on our list is Cheryl Miller. The reason why I even got into activism was seeing Cheryl being pushed around in a bed by Jim Miller. And she fought till the death for you guys to get cannabis. She's the reason why you guys got cannabis today.
You heard Assemblyman Reed Gusciora.
Yeah, he told you right there. You heard it
You
from
heard him.
That's why he's helping, because he met Cheryl too. If you met Cheryl, believe me, you would be like, okay, give her whatever she wants. Give it to her. Help her.
20 years ago that
Help her.
happened. 20 years ago.
Help these people. They're all hurting. You got to help them. Sabina Rose, she's not hurting anymore because she died, but she died waiting. Little baby, 15 months old. Had a 25-hour seizure.
That's the irony of this. This is probably the best nectar for our nervous system, which helps people with seizures and things like mood changes and neuroleptic problems. And they're keeping it outlawed because it's going to cut into the market that is a multi-billion-dollar market that is ineffective for the patient. And when people bloom on this stuff instead of the drugs, they're just going to lose a lot of money.
Diane Ripatella, Gracie, Cindy May, Marie, Jack, Joan Ford, that's William's mother. Her book is out. Where is William? William?
Over here.
William. Give
doesn't
him
reach.
no, give him that mic. No, give him that one. Give him
He-
that mic, please.
he doesn't wanna
I
talk.
want to talk
He
about the
doesn't wanna
book.
talk.
The book.
He doesn't wanna
You
talk.
released a book.
He doesn't want to
It's
talk.
an amazing book, William.
He's TFU right now.
All right. He's too fucked up. Okay.
Exactly.
William's stoned as
TFU.
William is stoned as hell. But I will talk about your book because William has a great book coming out. It's a short book. It's 60 pages. You need to pick it up. William, where can we pick up this book? I just need to know where we get this book from. Amazon? Give him the
Catch
mic.
me on
Give
Facebook.
him the mic. I just can't. I need to hear him. Please, William, just where do I get the book? What is
the
it?
Rolling Sickness.
The Falling
Oh.
Sickness .com.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
FallingSickness.com.
I want to talk about your book. That's an amazing book. Dude, pick it up. Pick it up. Read this book. His mom went through in the 40s and 50s. Was unbelievable.
Epilepsy.
You think we got it bad now? You should hear what his mom went through.
Blue baby.
Unbelievable is right.
So she's on our list. Randy Robertson, Polly Connolly, Bill Buckman, Chad, Jeremy, it's Joanne's husband, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ Perry, Roger Barber, Jay Arletto.
Who are you going to roll with? That's him, right?
Yeah, he sings that song for us.
That's right, man.
He'll always be with us in that song.
That was one smart son of a gun. He knew way back then, son, who you going to roll with.
It's like the perfect song for us.
It is.
Ella Bagelman, Hattie Koshel, my grandma, who would have been locked out of Jersey City. I actually freaked out in Jersey City because I thought about my grandma, what she had to go through, and if she was in a wheelchair, because she was in a wheelchair.
Nah, she was even worse, bro. She was like my grandma.
Yeah, she was a
She
mess.
was bedridden.
Yeah, at the end, yeah. She couldn't do nothing.
My grandma was bedridden for 6 years.
Jackie Rickert.
Yo, you got your grandma on this list?
Anthony.
I want my grandma on this list.
I got my grandma high. Did you get your grandma stoned?
No.
This is a cannabis list.
No, okay.
I gave my grandma a vape bag. Not as big as his vape bag.
She wouldn't.
Not as big as your vape bag. But, jeez. No, my grandma would love that, though. I used to go over there. I'm like, Grandma, we're going to test your breathing now. Come here, Grandma, I'll test your breathing. And then after a while, she'd be like, when are we testing your breathing again? She started liking it.
Do you know that they also had me on breathing medications like Spiriva and Advair and all that shit?
Yeah.
And the cannabis cleared up my supposed emphysema, and I can play 4-level tennis in the USTA for 3 hours. But I was crippled on the shit they were giving me for my lungs, too, which is amazing. They'll sell you anything.
Jackie Rickert, Anthony, Armando, who just died this year of spine cancer. He couldn't get his cannabis legally. He was an inner city guy from the hood, Spanish guy, and he couldn't afford cannabis. So he was getting it off the street in Irvington, a place where I told him to go. I gave him a really good spot to go. They had really good weed there. It's a good spot. And he went there, and he got his cannabis illegally. But he risked his freedom every day. He risked his freedom treating his illness. And he died. And I'm a customer, he's a criminal. Why am I a customer and he's a criminal? Why? Because I have money? Because I'm white? Or I have a different class?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Why does he have to die? Why do you have to die like that? It's fucking terrible. Armando is the man. Honeybee, I'm going to turn the show over to you.
Hold on now.
Go ahead.
You forgot to add the frickin' name already.
Which one?
Little Jake.
Jake's on here. Oh, I thought we added Jake.
No.
We didn't add Jake.
The one little
We didn't
Jake
add
Honig.
I thought we added Jake. Wait, no, we didn't. Oh, it's
No.
Jack. We added Jack.
No.
Oh, we added a
No,
Jack.
this
We
is
didn't
the-
add
Little Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Oh my God, Jake's on the list.
Aubrey was his caregiver.
Yeah, Aubrey was. Yeah, okay. Let me.
Let's
do that.
go, man.
Write
I told
that
you
down.
this last time. I
thought we
you're
did
the
that.
producer, honey.
You're the
boobs.
producer, Honeybee. Yeah, you hang me out to dry, Honeybee. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? That list looks a lot better today.
She at least
It
started.
does.
I got to give her
It does.
credit.
Cleaned up.
It's good.
I'm the one that bitched that you should have started it, and she did it. So
Good job.
I'm the one that started the whole thing.
All right.
I thought you were handing it to me.
All right, Honeybee, I'm turning the show over to you.
Right.
The show is yours. Take us home.
And the last person is my son, who passed away from a drop seizure 3 years ago, March 5th. And, you know, he could have lived longer if he had more cannabis in his life, if it was easy to access, more affordable. if people gave him 10%. But cannabis does save lives. It really does. And I keep on coming back to help show the whole world that it does. Because it takes everyone to come together to show everyone what we're fighting for, and that this plant is beautiful and it's helpful. It helps us all. So thanks for what you do, guys. Thanks for going to all those council meetings, because it does make a difference. And welcome back to the State House. Awesome. Can you guys hear me?
The show is yours, Honeybee.
All right. You guys are all so quiet there. I'm like,
Well, there's a lot of cross notes. I had to turn everybody off, so don't worry about it. We're good. I'm giving the show over to you, though. Go ahead.
All right. Hashtag, they shall grow.
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 Hashtag, they shall grow.
I really like how you found that.
Yo.
Like, one day you're like, oh.
Turning me
I
off.
keep turning everybody off because I'm waiting for Honeybee to finish the show.
No, I got an idea. I'm going to bring
All right,
some
go ahead.
seeds next
Go ahead.
time.
Go ahead.
Next week, I'm bringing seeds. We're here next week, right?
Yeah, every week. We're here every week.
Next
again.
Thursday, I'm bringing seeds. Seeds and weeds, but the seeds are for the ground.
Oh, watch out for
The
seeds.
seeds are for the ground. Yes. They're going to have a real flower garden. The Garden State.
10%. It's a sanctuary here, by the way. This is a sanctuary for adult use cannabis. The Capitol grounds. It's
We're
100
out here seeding a saner society.
It's been 100 days. It's a sanctuary. Get sanctified right here.
God's garden is about ready to spring forward in New Jersey.
They shall grow.
They shall grow, Honeybee.
They shall grow.
Hashtag, they shall grow.
They shall. All right, here I go. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We
will remember them.
will remember them.
We're going to get it right one of these
Thank
days.